Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because Steven hasn't been here long enough to know what we're doing. If you wouldn't mind, Steven, I didn't notice it, but you see how everyone else has um their names at the end of their character names. If you would appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry.
So what we do at the beginning of every session is we'll have everyone roll a d20 once we're all in here, and whoever gets the highest roll gets to do the recap of the last session. Every week that it's been since you haven't done or since you have done a recap, you get to add a +1 to your roll as long as you remember it, and you don't get to roll if you did the recap last week. Um, if you do the recap well enough, um, you will get a free reroll that you can use before the outcome of whatever you're rolling for is determined. The exception to that is attack and damage rolls because we can't hide those. There's no way to hide those. So if you want a free reroll on that, that's acceptable. This free reroll only lasts for this session. So if Will does a good enough recap a last session, then he'll have the free reroll. But if he doesn't use it this week, then it's gone.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So if you would like to, Will, the spotlight is all yours.
Thank you. If I remember correctly, we had just the party had just finished getting through the final trap in the dungeon level we were at right now before we encountered Nulia and one of her pet Yeth hounds uh preparing themselves for combat inside what can only be assumed to be a sort of shrine to Lamashtu. The battle went fairly was almost a bit of a wipeout, seeing as how the Yeth Hound was able to fear our great fighter, who fled all the way up into the main level of the temple, and our paladin had almost had been downed at least once, but we were able to make it through. Nula, sorry, keep saying Nulia for some reason. Nula was defeated, her Yeth Hound included, and once the party had come back around and we all had a chance to lick our wounds, we continued to move through the dungeon, trying to clear the place before heading back up. And we encountered a pile of gold that our kobold swore up and down was as real as can be, swimming through it, just having the time of his little kobold life. Until we pointed out that the pile was in fact an illusion, and none of the gold was real. At which point, we continued into a room filled with sarcophagi, and before we knew it, we were suddenly attacked by a bunch of shadowy, ghost-like creatures that didn't deal physical damage, but instead drained all our strength. Paladin almost to the point that he was completely dead. Our fighter, little better, worse for just a little bit worse for wear. And with myself being the only one who had any real resistance thanks to my mage armor. We did our best to fight them. I took down one, but we ended up fleeing the room before we could finish the job because of said damage. And that was about where we left off. Corgan went back to grab a magical sword to replace his Earthbreaker, and I believe that was it.
That's a pretty good recap. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah.
I learned a lot about what happened.
Steven, your mic seems to be flaring up.
What do you mean? Oh, hold
Buzzing.
on.
Static.
Is that better?
I heard it right after you said that's better.
but it's
Oh,
not doing
were
it.
you just hearing it when I was? Are you just hearing it when I'm talking though?
Yeah, just when you talk.
We were hearing it when you weren't talking, but now it's just when you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to change the input sensitivity stuff. You're gonna hear it because it's my fans. I can't really make it so it's not there at all, but I can make it so it's just there when I'm actually talking.
Okay. Hot day
And I
over
guess I can
there, I
turn off
assume.
the fan. Hold on, I'll turn off the fan. All right, are you still hearing it now, or did it stop?
I heard it.
Okay, then I guess it's my fan. I just turned off the fan. Fortunately, the air conditioning is working, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. Well, guess we can resume. Dalen, Corgan, what's up?
Well, I was going to. Last session, I was just about to step back into the room to fight them because it looked like they couldn't follow us out of the room. But I think I changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to do that just yet.
Okay, no, it's definitely live. It's just nonstop now.
Yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
bad.
So maybe you should have push to talk on.
What is making the noise, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It might just be your mic sensitivity because you are pretty loud, and I just have you all volume. Also, there might have been marching construction work in the background for a second. No,
That's kind of what it sounded like. All right.
Okay,
So
hold on. I'm gonna try to fix it.
for some reason, I heard like the rhythmic beats and like the Red Alert theme song started playing in my head.
It was the Black Parade for me.
You know,
all right.
that would be a fun thing to do role play for sometime. Do like an RPG that's some kind of like World War setting.
That would be pretty fun.
Okay, if you guys aren't going back into the room with the sarcophagi, what are you doing?
Ariadel's still on the map, just so you know.
Yeah, Aradel's still on the ground,
Oh,
trapped
yeah.
inside his armor.
I would probably peel him out of his armor.
That would help.
Okay. It's gonna take you guys a few minutes, and Aradel doesn't even have the strength to move. You'd have to be lifting him up, doing so much more work than you normally would. As you're like rolling him on the ground so you can get to the back of his full plate to
Well, what I think
unlock it.
what I'd do is I would help prop Aradel up so that Corgan can take off his armor a little easier.
Perfect. It's a struggle, and you guys have to spend a few minutes doing it, but you pull him out, and can I get like a knowledge planes check? I'm sure Corgan doesn't have that, but correct me if I'm wrong, David.
I do not have plans.
Oh, it's almost a 6.
Okay. How familiar are you with the different planes of existence?
I like to think that in my studies on even though I focused on the astral planes, which seems to be where my powers originate, I would like to think that I would also take time during my studies to familiarize myself with the other planes as well that's connected to it.
Okay. Cool. So I think with that role and your explanation, I would give you, this is for you specifically. I would give you that like you see this leftover wound from one of the places that you see Aradel has been struck in, like across the bottom of one of his feet, and it seems to be like splitting away, almost like he has two of these wounds, almost like there's a duplicate of the portion of his foot where the wound is. And because of your knowledge of the planes, it's safe for you to assume with what just attacked him that it looks like his soul is being torn away from like the mortal realm towards the shadow plane. It's some kind of infest. Uncommon, but definitely what.
Would that knowledge let me tell me any way of stopping this stopping this tear?
There are a couple different ways you could do it. If you're trying to keep him alive, the only way you would know to take care of it is to get the assistance of like a very powerful holy man, which is not going to be full with like what you know of Father in Town. You know you wouldn't be able to take care of it. But if you got him to someplace like Magnamar, they might have a healer. The alternative is Grim. If he does succumb to this wound and you know he's going to die, then might be able to help him get through the astral plane, as opposed to being torn to a plane where his soul isn't meant to go. That's kind of like a worst case scenario, though.
I explain everything to Corrigan and talk it over. So, what do you think we should do?
Oh, like I worried I don't want to ask his opinion on this. Since it's his life that's getting directly affected here.
He literally doesn't have the strength to speak.
Oh shit.
That's like he can't help you at all. Remember, he's on one
Look.
strength.
Can you do facial expressions?
Yeah, maybe like you see he like tries to lift the sides of his mouth up, but he just starts to quiver for a moment before start to hear him just ant a little.
Maybe he can manage the 1 blink for yes, 2 blinks for no type deal.
Could I gauge how long he has?
Yeah, you can either so this is a special case. Normally I would say just give me like a heal check, but I would let you do a knowledge plane like as a substitute for that.
Okay, see if that works.
Even if you could use push to talk, that would be very helpful.
Well, that sucked.
Thank you, sir. Please continue.
A 10.
Okay. This is your first time actually seeing one of these in practice. Like you might have I know you're a sorcerer. I don't know you've brought up that you're studious in the past. I don't know. Did you read about this information? Was it like given to you orally? How'd you figure out about this?
Well, I read a bunch of books during my time as a librarian in the College of Riddleport.
Okay, yeah. So you have a lot of theoretical knowledge. You don't have any real world experience with these kind of diseases. But from what you've read, a wound like this, depending on his pool to the plane, it could take anywhere from like moments, like a few seconds, all the way up to years. This could just be an affliction that Aradel lives with for the rest. Even if it is just.
Oh, well, at this point, they have two options. We can either just end his suffering now, or if he can survive long enough, we could try to see if I'll get him a cart to Magnabar to seek some professional help there, because nothing in Sandpoint will heal this.
Will he turn into one of those things and attack us?
No. Unfortunately, what's going to happen is even worse. his soul will be torn from his body and taken to the shadow realm.
That's fairly ominous. Well, if he isn't going to turn into one of us, I say we save him.
Yeah.
Even if it is fruitless.
In that case, we should probably try to carry him out of here as quickly as we can.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, if you guys want to drag him away, you totally can.
Yeah. We're going to work together, try to get him out of here.
Okay. It is the biggest pain in the ass to get Aradel out of here, but you totally can. When you guys get back, the first room you came into on this floor, you see that Zane is still in that corner that he was in last session. He's very relieved to see you're here. And he follow behind you guys as you carry up Aradel. Obviously, asking you questions about what's going on, since he basically just watched for a few moments as you got attacked by shadows and then ran away like the coward he is.
I do take time to explain everything as we go.
Of course. It's gonna take you a long while to get home. Which one of you wants to do the survival check? Also, if you want Zane to do it, check his survival.
My survival is not high at all.
His survival's a +2.
His is better than mine. Gonna aid him.
What's
And we have a compass from Aradol, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can take the compass off Aradel.
So I have a +1. So I need to roll what, a 9 or above to aid.
Yeah,
So 10.
10.
Got a 50.
Remember correctly, the compass was a +2.
Yeah, it's +2.
Okay, cool. So a total of a +4 for Zane. Also, I found something out yesterday that I didn't know. If you don't click on the modifier button, if you just hover over it, you can like scroll to adjust the number.
Oh.
But if you
Yeah.
click on it, you can't. So if that's something you guys are interested in, totally an option. Never knew about it.
Learn something new every day.
A good friend of mine said knowing was half the battle.
So, can you guys hear me when I'm talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that I fixed it so I don't have to have push to talk on. If it starts making the noise again, just tell me and I'll put it back on that. But I think I got it sorted.
Well, you sound crystal clear to me.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
So it probably makes the most sense that Zane's the one doing the leading, because obviously it'd be a lot slower if you guys had to like set him down every time you needed to re-get on course. And it's definitely not the same path that you guys have been on before. Like every time you've come here and left, it's been down a different route in the Nettlewood. And it's only going to be a few hours before you get there. There's no getting lost today. After about 3 hours, you get back onto the road. But you're definitely farther north than you have been before. So you have to spend like another half hour going through on the main road or find you find your cart.
Yes, a cart.
I guess that's not really fair for me just to say your cart, is it?
I am renting it.
Well, I just meant the fact that like I'm totally ignoring there's a person in said cart. Good old Hosk Jr. And he's still there, and he looks way more relaxed at this point than he has before. Like I don't know if you guys remember.
On.
Yeah, he's got a suit of armor on. He's been out here multiple days now. He's kind of getting used to it, which I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I'm inclined to think that's not necessarily a good idea. There is such a thing as
It's
being
bad for his father because you might get adventuring ideas.
My son wants to be an adventurer because of you scumbags.
God, that gives me Skyrim vibes. The guy from Rorikstead. Y'all know.
Alright, so we put Aradel in the wagon.
Yep.
Are you gonna go back and get your ill-gotten gains, or are you just immediately going back to Sandpoint?
Ariel's life's more important than Gaines to me.
Agreed.
I will give you this, that while you were traveling, Aradel's condition does seem to be getting worse. And when you disturb his body a bunch to get him onto the cart, start to hear him babbling in this archaic language. You can either give me a linguistics, or I would let Dalen give me a knowledge plane check.
I'll do linguistics. Does that roll right? Nope. I just bounced right out of it.
Would you like to throw a roll out there, Will?
Oh yeah. I didn't know you would let us both do our own roles.
Yeah, you're both there, right?
Yeah. So could I do planes while he does linguistics?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Corgan, you have no idea what Phil is doing, but it's probably a good or not Phil, what Aradel's doing, but it's probably good that he has the ability to at least babble incoherently. It's more than he's done up to this point. So maybe he's making a swifter recovery than most people would. Dalen, on the other hand, can't pin the dialect that he's speaking, but it definitely seems familiar to you, at least a little bit. Like you think you've like read about this speech pattern before.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to keep a close eye on him as we travel down the road back to the village.
Okay. So once again, it does take a little bit of time to get back to town, a few hours. But when you guys get there, what are you looking to do?
I'm gonna want to take it to Father Xantus, see if he can like stabilize him for the trip to Magnemar.
Yeah. I was going to say the same.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna be resharing some maps today for the sake of Steven. This is the town of Thistletop. Or not Thistletop,
That's
Sandpoint.
Sam.
Thistletop is where you
Sandpoint.
guys just were. Okay, yeah, you guys are going to the cathedral. Are you gonna bring Aradel in, or are you just running in?
Running in.
Okay. Yeah. When you get in there, as you normally would, yeah, a few of the acolytes in here, but you don't see Father Xantus today.
Ask one of the acolytes where he is.
Oh, she when you approach her, it's a half orc woman that you haven't seen. Must be new. There aren't that many acolytes. And she says that he's in the boneyard right now, helping bury one of the older citizens in town.
Okay, I thank her for the information. I stroll right towards the boneyard.
Okay. Yeah, you head over there and you can see him about halfway through the boneyard. There are 3 acolytes with him. All of them are shoveling dirt on top of this body, and you can see Father Xantus is doing like a traditional Desnian prayer.
Okay. Let me know when it's over. I don't know if Corgan would be. Well, Corgan would probably interrupt him because the life of somebody alive is happening. Sorry to interrupt, Father, but one of our allies got seriously injured. We're wondering if you could help us.
He turns around, opening his eyes, putting his hands down. My son, how can I help you? What ails your
We fought magical shadows, and he got injured during the fight, and seems to not be getting better. We're not exactly sure what's happening. At least I'm not. Our wizard might be able to tell you more, but he's in bad shape.
Please guide me to your companion. Can you tell me more about these shadows?
I'll explain to him what happened during the fight and how they like drain strength and shit while we're going,
Okay.
and what the wound looks like from what I saw.
Perfect. Pretty knowledgeable about the planes and with the dice roll he got. He asked, which of your companions was it, myself?
Aridel.
Strong one. Assuming we can get him to a healer quickly enough, then might survive. Now, after a few more minutes, you guys end up out front. The cart, which I assume is parked in front of the cathedral.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Father Xantus will get in the back of the cart, inspect the wound.
I'll explain to him everything that I was able to uncover about it.
Okay.
Cat. Seriously.
He says, after a couple minutes of inspecting the wound, his soul is being torn in multiple directions. Life is waning. This is beyond my humble capabilities. We are going to need to transport him to Magnamar.
Agreed. I just hope we have enough time.
I can go grab a few of my acolytes. If they stay with him for the trip, hopefully undisturbed, then he should be able to make it all the way there, as long as his condition doesn't accelerate too quickly.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
He nods at all of you and then quickly begins to head into the cathedral. Is there anything you want to do before he comes back?
Haas Jr., we need to talk to your father. Let's go make a trip, because we need to go to Magnamar. And I'm pretty sure your father wouldn't appreciate it if we just took your cart to Magnamar without at least notifying him and paying him for it.
We bought the
Yeah.
cart, didn't we?
Did you guys? I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I think we bought the cart. It was only his son that we were hiring.
And the horses, right?
Did we buy the horses? I can't remember if we bought the horses.
You didn't buy the horses.
Okay.
You own the cart. That's it. You don't have
Okay.
horses.
Okay. I didn't know the cart was theirs. So, yeah, we got to talk to him about the horses to Magnamar. And probably taking Haas Jr. since we need a driver.
Yeah. Osk Jr. says, yeah, we can talk to my dad, but he did say I couldn't stay any longer than our current contract. He'll let me come to Magnamar.
Do you know of anybody else that can drive a cart?
Go ask one of my friends. Their parents probably be much harder to convince them.
Do you know if Amico can drive a horse?
I could probably talk to. I could actually probably talk
Well,
to.
she probably won't come with us having a kobold. Yes, try talking with your friends. We're pretty much in desperate need of a driver.
Question: would the because you said, Jacob, you said that previously they had sent that the sheriff, right, had sent for people from Magnamar.
Yeah, he went down to Magnamar and acquired some of their.
So would they be there now, or?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
they've
they
been there
have when we
for
left.
multiple days.
Ah. Okay, just thinking. I'm trying to figure out how best to have a Elliot show up.
Well, if you're trying to meet them in Sandpoint, do it quickly because they're leaving soon.
I realize that. That's the. Yeah.
I look over the Corgan and I say, I'll go talk while he's talking to his friends. I'll go talk to Sheriff Hemlock, see if he could spare any guards that know how to drive a cart. Spare a
Good
driver.
idea.
So I'm gonna walk over to the barracks,
Okay, so
the garrison.
you're going to the barracks. Morgan's going to the stables, and you're sending Hosk Jr. to go talk with one of his friends.
Yeah. Yep. And I do ask the acolytes to keep watch over Aerodel.
You're gonna leave Aerodel here.
Well, the acolytes have to stay with him, right? And we have to bring the horse back. So I guess the acolytes would have to come with us to Hosk's place.
Okay, so is Corgan and Zane are gonna wait here until Father Xantus comes back with his acolytes?
Yeah, it
Okay.
to be keep stabilized.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Then we'll jump over to the Sandpoint Garrison where we deal with the cathedral. When you get to the garrison, Dalen, the gates are open, which they normally aren't, kind of strange. And no one, as was the last time you came in, no one bothers you. You're a deputized member of the town guard. You can freely come in and out of the garrison now.
I walk on in.
You begin looking around for Sheriff Hemlock, and it turns out that he's actually not at the garrison. One of the guards tells you that he's actually down at the southern bridge and port, that he's been time down there.
I appreciate him for I thank him for the information and start making my way down there.
Okay. And before we get to that, jump back since you know town. It takes probably like 10 minutes before you see anyone show up, Morgan. But when you do, it's actually not from the main doors of the cathedral. It's actually from like north of you. Coming down the road, you see Father Xantus sitting on the seat of a carriage, a very simple looking wooden one with just a symbol of the seven pointed star like tacked on, nailed in on the. And you see two acolytes, one sitting next to him and one a little bit ahead of him running towards you.
Look a little surprised at seeing a carriage.
The acolyte shows up, and like assuming you let her, this is that half orc you saw earlier. Assuming you let her, she gets into the carriage and starts trying to aid Aerodel.
I'll assist.
Okay. She is doing a prayer. Desna, Imperial Lords. Not uncommon, but you do see practicing, dedicate them. Member of said little quote unquote pantheon. And she starts rubbing this kind of weird mix of like white and silver powder. Not on the wound that Aerodel has, but around it. And a few moments later, as she's doing that, once it starts to like settle and she finished this line around the wound, here, Aerodel, as he like screams out in like agony, state of pain that you haven't heard from him.
What did you do?
He looks really startled when this happens. Says, I'm trying to make a sealing circle. This should prevent the wound from spreading. Seems like it's pretty early stage, and if we can stop it, then it should keep him stable for a while.
Then why did he scream?
I don't have an answer for that. It's a painful process. I'm not. She kind of just looks down. There isn't any practical experience that any of us have for this. We're just using what we've been taught. Not a common wound.
Corgan's eyes a little bit. Sorry for being a little bit rough. Don't want to see my ally in pain.
She looks back at you. If okay with it, I will continue. I'm trying to do everything I can for him.
Continue.
You see her, she starts adding on to this outline, kind of making a bunch of lines that spread out from it, and then kind of making a circle around it. I'd say less of a circle, and more like a rough representation of like the 7-point star. It's just rounded off.
Okay.
And as she's making this outline, Father Xantus' carriage gets there, and you see the acolyte sitting with him, hops off and runs around the corner. As he gets off and comes to, he rarely, only on occasions when such an extreme, the one Aerodel has, sanctified artifact of death, converted into transport vehicle. If it would allow us, we can put him and are any of you devout worshippers of Desna? Looks over at you and Zane.
I nod to the god of wealth, but I don't follow any god in particular.
Fortunate. Then it will only be the acolyte. He gestures towards the half-orc next to you in the carriage, and myself that can remain back with Aerodel. Son here, and he gestures towards the acolyte, kind of opening up the door to the carriage in the back. He also is not a devout follower. The front of the carriage. If you would like to, you can accompany us, but I would ask that you do not enter, as it will weaken the effects that they have on Eric.
I understand.
So I think at about this point, you would see that a woman on a horse would come riding up to the cathedral and to the wagon. And this woman has long metallic red hair and have wings actually growing out of her back, and is clad in armor and comes up and looking at you and the carriage and the group and basically goes, I have been looking for the adventurers who are working to clear out. What was it called? I'm sorry, Thistletop.
Yes.
Who are working to clear out Thistletop and stop the Goblin menace in the town.
You're looking at one of them.
Wonderful. Oh, and then she's gonna catch a glimpse at Aradel. At what affliction is he suffering? Looks bad.
Some magical one.
If you'd like to throw a knowledge planes out, you could attempt to identify it.
I don't have that.
I figured.
And you'll also notice that on her shoulder there is a small white songbird of some kind that seems to be sitting there. As she gets down from the horse and goes over, and she'll go over and she'll take a look. She notably keeps out of the way of the or, and you'll also see that her cape that she has a hold on.
If you'd like to, Stephen, you could throw a knowledge religion out for the seal around the wound.
Okay, sure. I'll have both Avalia and I'll throw out the religion. Both have ranks in it. Oh, nice. That was a great roll for Avalia.
Yeah, that must be some kind of like Desnian practice.
And
Wow.
Wow, that's something right there.
we got the angel disguised as a bird rolls really bad, and Avalia rolls even worse. She's not quite sure, but she understands that it's not to mess with the religious feeling going on, and
So what did you need with this?
oh, I have come to aid and assist you in your task. I have heard that the trouble and wish to offer my services to help.
Well, currently we're about to go to Magnamar to get him treated. Her? I'm not sure what gender Ariel really is.
At that remark, Father Xantus looks over to you, Corgan, turning his attention away from Aradel, and says, "Son, I have something I need to say to all of you." And he looks at the three of you. I guess it is uncomfortable what I'm going to say, so prepare yourselves. We are all members of the same flock. Quite often, I look at myself as a humble guide for many of you in this town, as many of you as I can be. And part of being in the same flock is realizing where we can best be of help to the others, that we can continue to support each other. I understand Aradel, your brother in arms, but at this point, there is nothing that the three of you can do for him. It is even beyond my healing. Most of me and my acolytes can do help prevent the wound from spreading before we take the long journey to Magnamar. I would never force you to do anything, but I would ask that you look at all the other members of this flock, every single one of the souls in Sandpoint, and reflect on what you can do for them.
Corgan kind of sighs, rummages in his backpack, and pulls out a pouch of 100 gold and starts to Xantus. Please keep him safe. Use this for anything that you need during the travels. Just kind of worried that you'd mentioned something of us not being able to help, and we really should finish our duties here.
If you are taking him to, you're taking him to Magnamar for healing? My mother is a priestess there. She might actually be able to help.
Which church does she practice at, my son? My daughter.
She is a priestess of Arshea, and it's likely you can find her if you look. She's fairly well known.
Was trained in Magnamar. I can go to the church you mention. I will find her.
So you'll want to go there and swear the fact that I just the Baxter. Hold on, I forgot her mom's name.
You see the acolyte who was messing around with the back of the carriage. He comes over with like a little like stretcher, and the half-orc woman starts to move Aradel onto it very gently.
Right. So she'll say that you should ask for Miri, and believe that she may be able to help. And you can tell her that Avalia sent you, and that this is a person who is in need of the goddesses. I'm sure she will be very happy to help.
He nods at you as he says, Avalia, thank you very much. The goddess bless you. Does a little hand gesture as he moves with Aradel to get to the back of the carriage. He gets in there with the half-orc. You see the acolyte who brought the stretcher get onto the front of the carriage, and as he begins to have the horses pull forward, he nods at all of you and says, Desna's blessing to all of you.
Nod my head solemnly.
Avalia will raise a hand and basically agree.
As the cart gets about like 20 or 30 feet away from you, you see Father Xantus opens up a wooden slit in the back of the door. You can only see a portion of his face. You can barely hear him, but he says, I'll send a rider from Magnamar as soon as we arrive.
I raise my hand in acknowledgement.
And he closes the door. Can I get perception checks?
I'm still looking for a rider for the other cart.
Yeah.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, plus 13?
She has a racial. Oh, she has racial stuff. The bird is very good at.
Okay, you both see what looks like purple dust that's accompanied by like a light green burst of light kind of emanates from the cart, and you see it seeping out of multiple directions where you expect light to come from in the cart. It only lasts for a brief moment, but after that burst, you still notice like a faint light emanating from it as it disappears through the winding town of Sandpoint.
All right.
I hope that my mother is able to help him or get him to someone who can. Don't know him, but no one should have to suffer like that, and he was in quite dire straits.
Didn't know that he had almost all of his strength drained.
I'm Avalia, and this, she points to the bird on her shoulder, Cecile. And Cecile actually will say, hello, in this sort of chirpy, musical voice, because thrushes can talk if they're familiars.
Corgan stares at the bird in shock that it's talking. After like a good 10-15 seconds of that, my name is Corgan Jartek.
And you are one of those adventurers who is working to put an end to the menace currently threatening the town, right?
We've got it mostly finished, except for some shadows.
Oh, I will be happy to lend my assistance, such as it is. I am a warrior by the grace of the goddess Shea, and I offer my aid you.
Okay.
Gestures to the large sword on her back.
I'm like slung like 5 or 6 weapons, so you can't really tell which one looks like it's my main weapon right now.
You're golf bagging hard.
Like, let's see, I got 2 masterwork composite longbows, a bastard sword, a tiny dagger, and an earthbreaker equipped.
Have quite the array of weaponry.
Gotta be ready for everything. I normally use an earthbreaker, but these enemies, the shadows, I need to use something magical, which I tapped the bastard sword. We got this from Nalia, the leader of the enemies. But after a couple days rest, because my strength's not at full, I think we go back in and take them out. Actually, I should talk to somebody in the cathedral, see if they can make it faster. There might not be somebody with Father's Hands gun. And I pointed at the kobold. That's Zane of. That's. I don't think he's actually said in character to me that he's of the Cloud Dragon tribe, so I'm just gonna call him Zane.
No, he's brought up Cloud Dragons like one time, and it was when he was in the middle of one of his more hysterical states.
Oh, I would have ignored him then. So yeah, Corgan wouldn't know.
I shared that image. That's Nulia. That's the boss of Book 1 that they took care of. So you could see that and see the sword that he's wielding. It's like it's made out of pure slate and has a serrated edge.
That looks like a rather fire blade. Suppose would reflect the nature of its previous owner. You said it was owned by the person responsible for the attacks?
We believe so, yeah.
Well, perhaps your hands and a better wielder.
I plan on selling it since I don't really have proficiency with this other than swinging around like it's a 2-handed sword, which is not great at. But we'll find out. And with that, I say I'm gonna go into the temple to try and get some aid.
Okay. The acolytes can't give you any magical aid, but they can attempt to help you with your healing. So if you get your full rest in, they can potentially accelerate it.
Okay.
Valia also does have the heal skill, so she could try to help.
It's literally like a one-person task, so if you want to do it in place of them, you can. But then you wouldn't really need to be at the cathedral.
Sure.
I don't know. They might be better at it than Navalia is.
You should be stronger than acolytes at this point.
All right. Yeah, Navalia will try to check aid.
Okay, well let's wait.
Sorry.
I'll let you know though, you're about as competent as the best acolyte here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it yourself, but you're not gonna do it at the cathedral if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah. We're gonna want to wait for Dalen.
I mean, technically you could do it, but like Corgan knows that like if you don't need to take up a place here, there's other people that can.
Yep.
We are gonna jump over to Dalen at this point as he gets down to the harbor. If you're looking around in this district, you can either give me like a perception as you go around, or you can give me a knowledge local if you want to ask around and find someone who knows where the sheriff is.
Yeah, knowledge local is my best one. So I'll see if that works.
If you do a knowledge local, feel free to roll it. Never mind.
Sorry, what was you saying? I could re-roll if you want me to.
No, it's fine. I was going to give you guys the like, it's been a while since we've had to use it, but there's a bunch of stuff you get +2s on from being Heroes of Sandpoint. Not that there are many of them left in the party.
Yeah, I should know to mention it. I think I'm the last hero, like actual original hero of Sandpoint here.
Every other hero has left
Exited.
or died.
Yep.
Perhaps they will crown some new heroes after the goblins are dealt with.
I mean, yeah, there's if something else happens, yes, but you know, at this point the goblin attack on Sandpoint probably isn't going to happen since you've just killed the leader who was organizing the whole thing and decimated that tribe.
Good work, team.
Goblins, as multiple of the people in the party know, goblins don't normally work together, and Nulia was the reason that they were.
Job done.
Not quite. We gotta take out those shadows.
Yeah, we still got to be loot goblins, don't we?
Yeah,
we left a lot of our loot there.
there's a bunch of loot there, and there's a floor to deal with, and there's like remember the stuff in Nulia's little observatory.
Yep.
There's a little bit left there. With that check, you literally, like, the first like group of people you walk up to, there's a couple looks like an older man with a fishing pole and maybe like his grandson next to him, and they say that they saw Sheriff Hemlock 2 piers over maybe like 15 minutes ago. Luckily for you, they just changed spots.
Oh, I'll go and thank them for their time and follow their direction.
Yeah, you see the sheriff. He's with a couple of his guards, and he's walking along the pier, actually, in your direction.
I kind of jog over to him, and I yell out, "Sheriff Hemlock! Thank God! I found you."
Dalen, I didn't expect you back so quickly. Surely this is good.
Wish it were. One of our companions have suffered some serious magical wounds, and unfortunately, based on my knowledge of it, the healers here in Sandpoint can't help him. But I'm hoping to see if you'd be willing to give us a rider so that we could take him to Magnamar for some higher healing.
Oh gods. Yes, I can get a man, and he looks over at, he has one of the town guard with him. There's a handful of town guard, and then two of the Magnamar guards with them. And he says, Arrakis, you or one of the, and he kind of just gestures towards the Magnamar town guards. Arrakis, he like nods. Yes, sir. I can take care of this task. Walks up to you, Will, and he says, I need a few minutes to pack provisions. If give me if I run over to the garrison, I can meet you wherever you'd like in about 15 minutes.
Thank you. Maybe in front of the cathedral. That's where we parked our cart.
The cathedral.
Yes.
And you see Arrakis. He runs off towards the garrison, up the pier where you came from.
All right. Thank you, Sheriff.
Of course, is there any news from Thistletop you can provide?
Yes, actually. Thankfully we were able to clear out the Thistletop goblins. They've been completely eradicated as far as we know. They also found Nula, who was leading them and was responsible for the attack on the town. We've dealt with her as well. Apparently, she was a devout worshiper of Lamashtu, and was doing this all for his bidding. But we took care of it. We still haven't quite finished up clearing out the dungeons yet underneath the fortress, but after we take care of this matter, we'll certainly be back there to finish the job. But as far as I can tell, the Thistletop will no longer pose any real threat to Sandpoint.
As you know, Sheriff Hemlock is a fairly expressionless man, normally just wearing his trademark disapproving frown. But you see shock slip onto his face for a moment when you bring up like Julia being alive and worshipping Lamashtu, and it recovers after you finish eating. And he says, well, at least if you've taken care of their leadership, that means an attack on the town is extremely unlikely. If you
Indeed.
are going to clear out the dungeons, when you are done with them, I will look into making arrangements, send the Magnamar town guard home. For which you see like a happy look on one of the Magnamar guards' faces. As soon as you're done. Assuming there's no new developments.
Of course. I'd best get back to the cathedral. We may not be gone here. We may not stay here very long.
Good luck, Dalen.
Thank you. You as well. And I start heading back.
Okay, cool. We'll jump over to the other three as they're heading over to the stables, correct?
At this point, since we left without, or we had Erdal leave without us, we would be waiting for Dalen.
Okay.
Valia would be fine with just waiting because that's what we're gonna do to. She can meet the other member of the group who had gone off to fetch aid.
As you guys are waiting, like after a few minutes, Hask, who's like normally pretty quiet, kind of looks over at like Avelia and then at Corgan. He's like, kind of strange, and then he looks over at Zane. So, like, a week and a half ago, like, And then he like trails off, and he's like, "It just seems, Dalen, there were a lot of people that weren't here before now. It just seems weird to me that you're like," and he just trails off.
Now we're helping.
Like, maybe I'm just like paranoid. Like, that guy has a talking bird. Then he like gestures towards Avelia.
That is pretty weird.
I appreciate the surprisingly large amount of people who are willing to help this town. It's just they seem to be getting stranger and no offense. He like looks at all of you as he with like a look of surprise as he realized what he just said.
When you get to adventuring kid, there's gonna be a lot of surprising things. Like when I went into that area, I didn't expect to fight living shadows.
So to him, an ASMR is strange.
To be fair, ASMR has changed in most of the world, except for where they congregate.
I mean, you're widely acknowledged as just being like beautiful and some kind of like paragon for most people to look up to, but you are in your own way strange.
Fair. Avalia will comment.
Like there's Dalen actually knows that like part of Nulia's there's a little bit of backstory, and one of the problems one of her bigger problems she dealt with as a child was being idolized for being an Azamar.
Ah.
Yeah, after that, like Hosk Jr., he just goes back to being his like regular quiet self. You can see look of shame on his face.
You don't need to feel ashamed for your thoughts. It's just, guess if a whole bunch of strangers suddenly show up in your town offering help, that it probably is a little bit shocking, especially if you don't get too many visitors.
And it's like a kid you're talking to, like a young teenager. He's like 14.
Yeah.
he like he's not looking at you anymore. He's still looking down like he has been for the last few moments, and he just says, "I shouldn't be speaking of these things. I apologize." Jimmy starts like playing with the reins he has in his hand.
For a 14-year-old, he's pretty well disciplined, isn't he? Apologizing like that.
Yep.
Most 14-year-olds I know would think they're all know-it-alls.
That is true. Most of the time, 14-year-olds do think that.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, after like 10 minutes, you go up.
I just kind of gotta jog on my way over.
All right. With a sullen look on my face, I explain what happened with Aradel and how Father Xanax took him and let him. I suggested that we finish what we're doing here, since we can't really help Aradel, and keeping an entire town safe is pretty important.
I see. Then I guess I went all that trip for nothing. All right. I'll just make my way back to the garrison, tell the guard that I found not to worry about it then.
Okay. We'll take the wagon back to Hosks and then go to the Rusty Dragon, other than Zane, I guess.
Alrighty, meet you there.
Yeah, When you bring up the rusty dragon, Zane just like spits off the cart onto the ground next to you guys.
Guys, I love it. I love it.
Is that an inn?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an inn that everyone here has, well, everyone that Dalen and Corgan have free stay at.
And Zane's apparently not allowed to be in because Amiko is racist. She's monstrous.
Does not like kobolds.
I don't think she likes monster races at all, to be honest.
I would just like to throw out there some assumptions being made here. Whether or
It could
not
be that-
they're correct, I'm not answering. I'm saying some of these things are assumptions.
Of course, it could also be that she just doesn't like that kobold.
Doesn't even know him.
He knows enough.
I was gonna say, after their interactions, I'd be kind of wary of him too.
Out of character, definitely. But like, come on, is it really at this point like? It's hard not to be racist in a fantasy setting when like you've never seen a kobold isn't a horrible person and give one a chance and it does stuff to make.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. Like it's not just this guy is like
Let me give you a suspicious liquid in trade for safe night of sleep. I'm like, dude, nobody's gonna accept other than traders. Nobody's gonna accept you at face value on what those potions are.
I love we're all dissing Zane's character or Tristan's character without him even here to defend him.
Well, to be fair, like Tristan's defense would probably just be him yelling at us about how we're wrong. And then like coyly being like, okay, you guys might have caught me, but I wasn't entirely in the wrong. Other people played a part. He's like trying to ship. Okay, no, I see where you're coming from, but you're still wrong.
Oh, we'd get the armor off of Hosk Jr. too.
Yeah. Like that's probably good. Like, when you get to the stable, he'll definitely take it off. Go get his dad real quick.
I feel like why do I hear a hint of sarcasm in that voice?
Is the cart the kind of cart that one horse can pull, or do you need multiple horses to pull the cart?
God, I thought they had two. It might just. I think it was a one horse.
Because Avalia has a horse. Can pull the cart. She has handle animal. So she can drive. She can have somebody. She can drive the cart.
I thought you needed ride checks to be able to run a cart.
I thought you had to handle animal the horse that was pulling the cart.
I don't know. Maybe one of us is wrong.
I think I've had different GMs to say different things on that before, so I don't know.
So ride is your ability to keep yourself on top of an animal, and handle animal is control it.
Ah.
Since you're not on top of the animal while you're driving a cart, I guess it would be handle.
It's well, I mean, I don't agree with your train of logic, but it is handle animal. Ride would be like if there was you to not be able to start like getting attacked, going across some difficult.
Checks that normally would put your balance in question.
Like, I know that you don't actually need to like, believe that you don't actually need to have skills in ride to ride a horse normally. Ride is normally for like combat riding or things that are not normal.
Yeah.
I get it now. Makes sense.
Valia has a horse. She has no ranks in ride, but she has a horse, for getting around quicker.
I play Cavalier in Kingmaker game. A lot of ride checks. Should do a lot
Yeah.
of handle animal checks. I figured I would at this point. Literally never. I know a lot about both those checks. I should anyways, but have a personal reason.
Yeah. The game I play Cavalier in the game for basically just doesn't care about handle animal, and so the animal companions just sort of do things for you. That's make you. That's been my experience, though. I know that's technically not raw.
If it's an animal companion, the only time you'd need to use the handle tricks or having it do getting a bird to swim.
It's a waterfowl because they don't mind swimming.
There you go. That would work. Getting an
Get yourself
otter
a
to
dire
climb up a
duck.
cliff.
A dire duck is your animal companion.
That sounds fun.
Like
Like
riding would probably require both ride and animal handling.
Okay, after a few moments, you see Hosk Sr. He comes out of the stable. He seems very happy to see you guys. My son told me you came back. I was surprised to see you so quickly.
Yeah, we had an injury.
And you see the like happiness on his face becomes a lot more tame. Still there a little bit. He's like looks around. He's like, Aradel, okay?
No. He had to get taken to Magnamar to get treated.
Gods. The critical.
It is life-threatening, yes.
I'll pray for him. My apologies. Son, say anything about this. And then you hear Hosk Jr. For a moment. He's like, cut me off. And his father looks back at him and he's quiet. Apologies. Son doesn't have all of his manners intact today.
That's fine.
Now, unfortunately, the contract was for multiple days. I see that you have come back. If you would like, continue the contract. They'll have the horse for 2 more days. But you're going to continue it, and you want me to maintain visions for the horse. Require the ones I've already given you. Obviously, if you'd like, I can use my own stocks, but that would cost.
I look over at Dalen. I think we're good with ending.
I'm not there. Remember, I went.
Oh,
to,
right,
I went,
you're
I
not.
went back to the garrison to tell
That's
the guy
why.
not to worry
That's why I
about it.
paused at the beginning and like there was that silence there because I was waiting for Dalen to answer.
So right now it's Corgan, Valia, and Cecile who are at the table.
Well, Zane's here too, but he's like.
And Zane.
But he's cardboard cut out right now, so he's not going to be speaking.
Valia doesn't know what the terms of the deal were because she wasn't here, so she can't really help here.
I think we're okay with ending the contract here because I also got injured and we need to wait for that to recover.
Perfect. Oh, well, the deal is sealed. And you see him look back at Haas Jr. Haas Jr., steps forward and he reaches his hand out towards you, Corgan. Try and shake.
I shake his hand back. I'm like, is he asking for money? Because I'm pretty sure we paid.
Did you say that out loud?
No.
No.
No. I do slip a silver piece in with the handshake.
Okay. Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. If you want to, try and give me a stealth check.
It's not gonna go well because I'm -3.
Or no, sleight of hand, I think would be more appropriate. Give me a sleight of
Sleight of
hand.
hand?
Yeah.
Same thing, -3.
Just throw the sleight of hand out there.
Okay.
It's
It's really obvious.
literally impossible for the kid not to notice you doing, because you got a 1 and he has a positive modifier. Even if he didn't, if he just had flat, he'd be able to see it. So you try and slip the silver piece in, and he's like, "I can't accept that, Corgan. Us ending our contract."
You did well by yourself out there, kid. I figured you deserved a little extra.
I appreciate it, but I can't accept it. Unprofessional.
Very well.
And he, as you put the coin away, he sticks his hand out again.
Give him a firm handshake.
As he's holding on to your hand, in the middle of this shake, and with the touching of our hands, contract that we've established has been terminated. Under witness of Desna, 3 of you, referring to the 3 people that aren't shaking, contract between the Hosk family, here's a Sandpoint, has ended. You hear Hosk Sr. yells out, I don't know, like, I know some of us are Parisian, some of us aren't. This is traditional, like, Parisian.
Okay.
Talia will also indicate that she has witnessed them. She is Magnamar, and Magnamar is.
Yeah, this is like a common thing in Varisia when stuff ends, when there's like some kind of transaction that ends pretty much, has to be witnessed by at least one member from either party. I know that's like not terribly important, but it's kind of cool to get like the kind of gypsy based culture that is Varisia.
I like it.
It's always neat to see the world, to see the world building and the development.
And with that, you see Husk Jr. looks up at you, Corgan. I know I didn't, but it was a lot of fun spending a few days.
What you did was important. You kept our ride home safe.
He
It may not seem like it,
smiles.
but it was.
He smiles at you, and I need to take care of the horses now. Very jovial at this. Begins to unlatch the horse part.
Okay.
Husk Seniors. Is there anything else we can help you out with, gentlemen? Lady?
As usual, can we store the cart here?
Of course. You would need to pay for the storage space, though.
How much is it?
You see him look over at the cart real quick. I could put it in where some of those horses should be. Probably the same amount of space. 2 of them. We call it 4 silver a night. Well, I don't have to pay for the feed. We can call it 3 silver.
All right, I had him 6 silver to start. I say it's gonna be at least 2 days, so I'll come back and if it's gonna take longer.
This is the stables for the town. So this is where like all the horses get stored.
Yeah.
Then Avalia is going to ask, how much will it be to stable my horse here?
You get a whole day, 1 horse, 2 silver. That includes food and water.
Right, then give you 4, since it's likely to be the same amount of time as Morgan here. So he will hand over the 4 silver.
He smiles at you and says, "Thank you, milady."
A pleasure. And it's 10 silver to a gold, right?
Yeah, that is for all the increments. Just convenient. I hate systems that like arbitrarily decide that they should be different amounts between different types of currency.
Electrum.
Like this one's gonna be 1,000, and this one will be 100, and this one 10, and then you're looking back at it and you're like, where did they split up? Why did they split up like this?
Well, the 10, 100,000 is also it is actually, there is a system to it's multiples of. Yeah, it's still much easier this way.
Yeah, like, well, I get it in real life. Like, there's a reason for having them in specific intervals, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense for a game.
Oh yeah, this is much easier. Just had to. I had her. She had a specific number of gold left, so I had to split it off into the silver now.
Well, I mean, if need be, most people can break currencies as long as, like, gold. A lot of people can. If you're trying to break platinum, that can be harder. Like, to be honest, the Hosk family can't break a bunch of platinum if you came in with that.
Right. Yeah. So in that case, I guess she would give a gold and get back 6 silver pieces.
Yeah, he can do that. He just pulls out, you see one of his coin purses, he opens them up and takes the gold, puts it in there, closes it, opens another one up, gives you your silver.
Okay.
It seems like adventurers don't do that, but it's extremely practical not to just keep all of your coins in the same place. Especially if you're a businessman.
Because that means if the pickpockets one of your pouches, they're not going to get all your money.
So, it would lead to a situation where, in a sense, you might be more vulnerable. Thing is, like, if you have a coin purse, you're probably not going to have more than a few hundred coins, but if you have one coin purse that's a few hundred gold, definitely going to be more valuable than a coin purse that has a few hundred silver. Probably establish your own personal pattern as opposed to like a standardized one, so people wouldn't be like, we need to go for that purse. That's the one with the gold in it.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, Osk Senior, along with his son, will take the 2 horses under their watch and head back towards the stables.
All right, I'll go to the Rusty Dragon, bidding Zane farewell as I'm doing so because he's not welcome there.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he went and slept down in the port last time. That's what he said he was gonna.
That when there was an inn that he was told that he could go to.
Yeah, he was told that he could go to the White Deer, but he said he was probably just gonna sleep down in the port.
So there's multiple inns in the town then.
Yeah, there's the Rusty Dragon, which is like the best one in town, and then there's the White Deer, which is on the other end of
That's the
town.
one by the entrance.
Yeah, and then there's
That's, I mean, in the
another.
north.
There's another place. I always forget the fucking name of it because we've never done anything with it. And I think it's not really an inn. It's just like a place to get food.
Bracktooth's Tavern.
That might be it.
There's also the Curious Goblin and the Pillbug's Pantry, which seem like they could potentially be inn/tavern type places too.
The Curious Goblin is a bookshop, and then what was the other one you brought up?
The Pillbug's Pantry, which is a
Pillbug's-
great name.
The Pillbug's Pantry is an alchemist shop. I think it's a Fat Man's Feed Bag, which is like a seedy bar. That like the party has avoided everything down by the port south of the Rusty Dragon, like most of it, because it's like the shittiest part of town. They've gone to a few places down there, like Hannah's, where Father Xanthus's daughter has like a little small clinic, and then the Feathered Serpent is like a curiosity shop. But
Two Night Brewery.
it's like the Fat Man's Feed Bag is a little seedy, shady bar where your degenerates hang out, and then right across the street from it is the brothel.
Okay, the Pixie's Kitten.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
then
like a brothel.
North of that is Mercantile League, which no one's ever gone to, and the Boutique as well, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're just very close to the two crummiest places in town.
Okay, well, I guess Evalia would follow Corgan to the inn.
Yeah, you guys walk in the door, and Bethana's bringing drinks to someone a few tables away from you, and she smiles and waves at all of you. All two of you.
Evalia will smile and give a wave back. Even though she doesn't know the person, they're being friendly, so she will be friendly back.
Oh, and maybe some context that would be important to know about Amiko, the owner of the Rusty Dragon Inn, is that her brother has died recently and her father, so she is now like completely alone in this town when it comes to biological family.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Considering they were the ones that killed her brother, that should also be noted. I think I'm the one that actually got the killing blow.
Aren't you guys friends?
We're friends with Amiko.
Wait.
Our brother was a treacherous prick.
Oh.
Yeah, they both weren't good people, and Pseudo like killed their father. He was one of the
Literally coated
mercenaries.
The poor bastard in glass.
Like their family has a really fucking tragic story.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of complicated stuff going on there, so maybe like I shouldn't say this, but maybe like cut her a little slack on being a racist.
Evalia doesn't know that she's Evalia doesn't know she's a racist, and also doesn't know that her family just died. But
Yeah.
Evalia also is going to be nice because it's her general. Oh.
What are you guys doing at the Rusty Dragon Inn? Are we just going straight to resting up?
I want to talk to Amiko about Pseudo.
Okay. Yeah, you can find her in the regular spot. She's back behind the kitchen.
Think
I
of
swear there's somewhere private we can talk about recent going on.
I'm
Or is this
sorry,
better off
David, I
for
didn't hear that.
Private location to talk about the recent goings on with their family.
Yeah, you know it's okay if you knock in the doorway before you come in. She'll ask who is it.
Explain it's Corgan. Have some information if she wants to talk somewhere private.
Come on in. Don't worry about it. And like you can hear her cooking back there, and it's fairly loud, and you're like a decent ways away from people. So she just says like, what's the story, Corgan?
We found Pseudo. He was trying to kill us, so we ended up having to kill him.
Tactfully put, man.
Corgan is a very blunt person. I got who he is.
I'd say at this point, like unless you have anything crazy to do, Will, I think you could be heading back to the Rusty Dragon, because on
Yeah, I
your
was gonna
way to the garrison, you would have ran into Arceus.
Yeah, I did. That's what I was gonna say. I was just saying I'll drop by, apologize, and tell him that not to worry about it, and slip him a quick silver for his troubles before heading back to the dragon.
Oh yeah, he totally accepts it after like explaining that he's very surprised, and you just see him head back at the garrison after he politely excuses himself.
Avalia, it would probably. The Rusty Dragon is a tavern / inn.
Yeah.
Right. She would probably just. I'm guessing there's a bar type thing in the tavern. Probably would be eating there, and probably trying to how she can get.
Okay. We can worry about that. I did a little sidestep from Corgan. I want to focus on that again.
Sure.
Miko, alright, why don't you give me a sense motive, Corgan? I would love one of those.
Whew. It was almost a 3.
Okay. She is making an attempt to mask her emotions, but you've seen her in a similar state to this before when you talked to her about her father. This time that despair is mixed in with frustration, and kind of looks up from the meal she's preparing, and she says, I knew the day that you rescued me that there was chance that he wouldn't come back, but I wasn't prepared for this.
We found out the person he's along with was a follower of Lamashu. We're not certain that he was himself, but he was definitely working with evil.
Was a spiteful man at times, but I refuse to believe that he'd worship such a deity. Mercenary, certainly, but he just trails off.
I understand. You're basically running out of what happened. Explain there's a serious injury there at all. And he's on his way to Myanmar. And then I'd take my leave.
He lets you walk away without saying anything. And in that time, you can totally get a drink, Avelia. The woman I brought up earlier, Bethana, is a slightly older looking halfling. Works with Amiko at the Rusty Dragon. And she'd come up and ask you, once Corgan has taken off to go talk to Amiko, come up and ask you if you were looking for refreshments.
And she would say that yes, I am, and I also was looking to get a room for the night since I believe I'm going to be staying here for at least a day or two.
You're friend of Master Jartek?
That's my character's
Yeah.
last name.
Yes, I am going to be working with him in clearing out the rest of the Goblin Warrens.
We offer a variety of rooms. What is within your financial reach? The most expensive room we have all the way up to 5 gold, though most of them range between the 1 and 5 silver range.
The 1 silver room is fine. I don't need anything special.
Perfect, perfect. How many nights will you be staying with us?
I believe at least 2, so I'll pay for 2 now.
Perfect.
She takes out the two of the silver that she got from Haas family, the splitting the gold, and she will pay for that.
Cool.
And will also pay silver for a drink.
Sounds great. She'll pocket the 3 silver. Says she'll get you your drink as quickly as she can, and she'll bring your key along with it.
Thank you. Valia will smile, and she will look around and see who else is in the bar, tavern. People are here.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty. This is the busiest place in town, with the exception of like the garrison or the cathedral. You came at a good time too. There's a pretty decent crowd. Almost all of the tables in here are filled up with at least a few people. The entirety of the bar is filled up, the dozen seats that make up the bar. And there's a generally good air in in the Rusty Dragon Inn right now. A lot of things going on. A lot for you to soak up. Assuming you enjoy the busyness of this place, then it's a pretty decent bar. But if you're looking for something quiet, today is not the day.
Avalia does not seem to mind the commotion, and enjoying the clamor and the vibrant, happy energy.
Cool. A few minutes later, you see Organ coming back towards your table. David? Steven?
Oh, like you kind of like trailed off. I thought that was like the middle of the
Yeah.
sentence.
That's the same. I wasn't sure I was supposed to talk.
Yeah, take a seat and wave my hand at Beth now whenever she's got a chance to come over.
I mean, if you want to, she is actually going where you are as you're coming back, so you could talk to her on her way as she's crossing your path.
Yeah, I'd ask her for a typical meal and a drink.
Okay. Of course, Mr. Jartek. I'm getting a drink for your companion. It'll be out in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Organ and Dalen don't have to pay. Everyone else does.
Yep. Poor Avalia. She's gonna spend so much money paying for food, drinks, and then food, drink, and lodging and stuff in the town.
Well, to be
Yeah,
fair, they don't have free stay at the stable either. They got to pay for all that. It's just they kind of, saved Amiko's life.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Avalia will ask. Actually, sorry, you were saying something.
No, please continue.
Avalia is just going to ask Corgan. So, know that you said that you fought the leader of the goblins and defeated her, but what else was there in the ruins? I mean, it seems like
Some magical shadows, which we don't really want fighting anybody else. So resting, it sapped my strength, so I didn't seem to do physical damage, it just took my strength. So once I get my strength back, we're gonna go down there and clear them out.
Oh, I have a question. Okay, so Jacob, I have a question. What would it be to what would I need to roll to know that shadows are like a type of undead?
Knowledge religion.
Did I roll that before I say anything? 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have described them, I guess.
right, that is Cecile's one, and now
You haven't heard of
Valia.
shadows before.
And so bad at this because the problem is Steel has a because how familiars work have a high intelligence, and Avalia has high intelligence, but she has a class skill. Together, they both need out to.
No, neither of you know what shadows are. Maybe, maybe Avalia's heard of one, but she doesn't know what they are. You know, they're undead. I'll give you that.
At this point, Dalen walks into the tavern, his feet kind of sore. Sees everyone sit at a table and just goes to sit down.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't believe I actually had the opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Avalia, and I'm here to help the goblin problem. I see that I've arrived a bit after most of it's solved, but I'm still happy to help. He smiles. Where's a
Pleased to
hand?
meet you. I'm Dalen, and unfortunately, yes, you've missed most of the fun, but I'm sure there's still plenty in that dungeon left for the both left the rest of us.
And if Dalen didn't catch the description, Avalia.
I did
Okay.
catch it. I did
Okay.
as a player, anyways.
Yeah. She's got the most prominent thing is that she has a pair of wings that have mingled red and white feathers of her back.
Impressive.
She has wings. they aren't good enough to fly yet.
Come to think of it, did Nula have wings?
No?
No. Not all ASMR have wings.
True. True.
And she
Most
wasn't
ASMR don't have one.
at
Rare.
her point, she was more demon than she was Azamar.
True.
Mother of Monsters had given her a lot of what she asked for.
She too likes to twist and corrupt things.
Alright. Well,
I lift up my hand and call for a pint of ale and some food.
I told Amiko about pseudo Dalen.
Unfortunate. How did she take it?
Not very well.
We expected. She did just lose the only family she had left, after all. But she's strong. She'll recover.
Yep. So I think that we should rest for a few days so I get my strength back, and then go deal with the shadows, and see if during those few days that we're resting, I want to see if there's any of that balm that Aradel had at the cathedral that we can purchase.
Agreed.
Avalia will comment that, well, I don't know much of the shadows. They're undead. I believe if we can get holy water from the cathedral, holy water can damage them.
I don't know about that. I know magical weapons did some harm to them, and that bomb that Eredal had was pretty effective.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought maybe it's just evil outsider. Check that. Even if I'm wrong, that's what she thinks. She could be wrong.
Magic abilities that deal pure force damage seems to affect them as well. It seemed like my magic missiles were having quite an impact.
Keep in mind that, like, you calling them magic missiles, there isn't, like, a unified name for these.
I call them my magic missiles. That's going to be my flavor for them. Unless you prefer something a little more unique.
No, I just want to
Your
be
magic
clear
finger
that, like,
pistols.
that, like,
You
when you
pistols, I love it, yes.
Pew,
you
pew,
using a
magic finger
spell's
pistols.
name isn't a way you can, like, convey what it is. And it's like the same thing with, like, force damage is a mechanic we talk about. Same with the spells. There isn't, like, a unified, like, I'm going to teach you magic missile. It's more like, I'm going to teach you how to shoot arrows out of your finger that are going to impact targets.
I get what you're saying.
I'm going to teach you how to create concentrated arrows of magic that fire.
It's going to fire bolts of energy.
I don't have a problem with you guys using those terms, even if it, like, is in character, as long as we understand that that isn't actually how you would explain it to someone.
Yeah.
Being double checked, holy water does work on. It affects undead and evil outsiders if it works with acid. Flash weapon.
Yeah, I mean, Corgan has seen holy bomb directly affect them, but he hasn't seen holy water, so he doesn't
Holy
know that.
balm. I don't know what holy balm
Holy
is.
weapon balm. You apply it to your weapon. It treats it as magical if it's not magical for purposes of affecting incorporeal creatures, and ghost touch if it's a magical weapon.
Bombs
And it
and
deals initial-
blanches, both very useful at low levels.
Ah. Okay. That might be that Avalia will agree with you then that sounds like we should see both if the cathedral has some more of the balm and of the holy water. Most places people sell holy water. Who, so I believe we likely can find that there.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can find the balm too, because that'll allow me to swing with a weapon and do more damage.
Avelia and Corgan's drinks both appear at this point.
Avalia will smile and thank you very much, Halfling, as she brings the drinks out.
Thanks, Bethany.
If you'd like, Miko does offer discounts if you have a story of an adventure you'd be willing to tell the crowd.
Don't like have a story off the top of her head to tell the crowd. And out of character, I'm out of character. She does because she's been on some adventures. You have to have gone on some before, but in character, I don't know the details of them out. But sure, Avalia will say that she's happy to tell a story.
Give me a few moments. And you see Bethana, she, like, turns around. She walks towards the front of the bar, which is, like, pretty much on the opposite side of the room from you guys, since you're very close to the door. And she gets up on one of the bar stools, like standing on it. You see a little halfling woman standing on top of the bar stool, and she yells out in the room, "Everybody, we got an adventurer in here. She's got a story for all of you." And very quickly, you see the room quiet down as they're looking towards her, and she gestures towards the back of the room at you guys. She says, the beautiful young lady in the corner over there, sitting next to the hero." You see everyone look at her. Spotlight's on you right now, Avelia. Everyone in the room's
Right.
paying attention.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him some assistance by standing up. Everyone, allow me to present to you the newest adventurer to the party, Avalia.
She will stand up and she will give like a bit of a wave and smile, and then
Most of the people are like cheering in excitement or raising their drinks. Multiple of them
Right.
like say your name out loud.
okay, and then so about okay. Oh, I need to actually tell a story. I need to now want to actually. So I'm just um. So it has to be appropriate for level 4 for a level 4 adventurer story, right? So will stand up and she'll wave and smile and then say that, well, sorry to tell you, and my first real adventure. Like a lot of us, we kind of started out small, but went in Magnamar, and we had received reports from outlying villages that by a monster, and you should have heard the stories. It had about how it had wings and horns and this giant scaly tail would lash out and cripple people with them, that it was all their livestock, and go out with a couple of others, and lo and behold, go and we find people who they saw the monster. Turns out they saw it the night, and the only witness was actually this was a 8-year-old boy. Then we we're at the farm and searching for this monster, and turns out that we're all afraid of we're all sort of scared of this 12-foot tall horned really tailed monster bursting out of the woods. And it was a gloomy day, fog everywhere, and you couldn't really believe there was a giant monster there. Then turns out that what comes out of the woods, we're all ready for it. And then instead of this giant monster, full of wolves. And she and then, but those were some ferocious wolves, because even one of my friends even got taken down by them, and we had to fend them off long enough to heal her. And then we go back and the people are like, "Where's the monster? Where's the monster?" And then we show them the wolves, and then look at the boy. It told them all these stories of the giant monster, and I think everybody had a pretty good laugh about that. Isn't it all what we expected? Everybody survived, and thanked us, and honestly, it was a bit anticlimactic, really, but still, everybody made it, and we ended up doing something good. I don't think I was ready for a 12-foot tall monster with wings and horns and a giant tail. Telling. That was her story.
Can I get some kind of aid check from Dalen?
Yeah, sure.
I'm guessing it was a bad. Was it really bad? It was really.
I think
Let's
diplomacy is the
see.
appropriate skill.
Alrighty. Where's diplomacy? There it
The
is.
good thing. Is the good thing.
Here's my check.
Oh.
I didn't ask you for a roll, Steven.
Oh.
There you go. 21.
Okay?
That's enough to give him a bonus, right?
Yep, you just got to get a 10 or higher. So you can re-roll, Steven, with a +2.
Hey. Sorry. The thing is, Volley is really good at diplomacy roll.
God damn, he is. Like, what the hell? First Rhea, now Avalia. What? You just love creating diplomacy characters, don't you?
I like making characters who are good at talking, even though I'm not necessarily the best at it. I try. Avalia is. One note though. One point there only comes in question are or could be actually attracted to her. It specifies that.
I feel like you cut out right there because I didn't hear a decent chunk of that.
Yeah, me either.
Yep.
Apologies. I said that. Said that one point of that only takes effect, so it's either a 29 or a 30, depending on whether the people question audience are or can be sexually attracted to her. Is actually.
I mean, since we're not talking about specific people, we're just talking about a group, so I wouldn't give that to you.
Then it's 18. Be a 29 instead.
Yeah, the room seems really receptive to your story. They're all engaged to various degrees. And that'll definitely be enough for Bethana to give you one of your silver back.
And Avali is going to smile, and she's going to sit back down, and going to raise a glass with others to say to new friends and an adventure.
Corgan raises his glass.
As do I.
You don't have a drink, Dalen.
Damn it.
But if you want
Oh.
one, Bethana is finally available since she was going back to get a drink when you said you were trying to get one earlier. She was already getting drinks for the other two.
Avali is going to wait for Dalen to get his drink before she does the toast.
Okay, yeah, a few minutes later you can get your drink, Dalen. Bethana comes back with it. Free of charge,
Yay.
of course.
Now I raise the drink.
All right. And then she will also continue. And to the health of your friend, may he recover and be safe on the journey to Magnamar.
Aye.
Raise my glass again.
Nice. A little warming moment. A little bit of fire in my soul. If you guys would like to give me a direction as to what's going to happen with the group post meal, I'd love that, and then we would do our break after that.
What time of the day is it? After the meal?
Yeah, it'd be in the afternoon at this point.
Corrigan would probably just rest.
I'm trying to remember. How long does it generally take if I pass to make an alchemical substance?
Depends on the alchemical substance.
I want to see if I could gather some items and make some holy weapon bombs for Corrigan and Navalia.
It
At
would
least one
just be
each.
making holy water.
I was gonna say it's already an alchemical weapon for holy water, so it'd be
Okay.
more efficient to purchase it.
I was going to try to make it cheaper by trying to craft it, but okay.
You can craft it, it'll just take a while.
Nah, I'd probably instead I'm going to spend my time working on my other projects. Let's see. I want to try to make a wondrous item. Let me see. Saw
That's gonna
one
take
that
at least a day.
I mean, we're taking 2 days to rest, right?
At least, because I want all of my stat back. And that's 5 damage.
Yeah, so you can normally get 4 ability points for full days of complete rest if you're provided long-term care.
Okay. Which I think Avalia was gonna try.
Yep, Avalia will do her best to help you with long-term care.
Okay. That would take
And
8 hours for you to do that, and then he would need to rest 16 more after that.
Okay. So basically the entirety of the next day.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Avalia will do that tomorrow. Then, for the rest of the evening, I think she will try to socialize with other patrons of the tavern, find out more about the town, and generally try to make herself at home.
If he's gonna go
Interact with
rest,
others.
if you want him to get that bonus for the 24 hours, you need to do it when he's gonna go rest.
Oh, so I need to do it now?
Yeah, if he's gonna go do that, otherwise he's just gonna get the nightly recovery.
Okay, then she'll do that.
Okay. What about Dalen?
Since I guess it would be see, let me see. Yeah, since since I feel like it would be shit, I lost train of thought. Sorry. Yeah, no, probably will wait on the wondrous items. Never mind. I'll just take a couple days. Take a couple days to relax.
Well, assuming you get long-term care, if you went over to the cathedral, could get the 2 points in an 8-hour period, assuming they make their check. Otherwise, it'll just be 1 point for that night, or 2 points for a 24-hour period.
Considering I only took 2 points of strength damage, a 24-hour period sounds nice.
Okay, cool. Then you can just spend if you go rest in your bed for the next day. So here's the thing with that. If you want to do the 24 hours to get the 2 points, then you would need to get long-term care from someone. So you'd go to the cathedral. Otherwise, you'd have to spend 2 days getting 1 point back per day.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and take a day at the cathedral.
Okay, cool. Then what we will do is we will take our 10-minute break. Let's call it 26 after, and then we'll take care of our resting.
All right.
I will
Great.
see you guys shortly.
Alrighty.
Hey, chat. Back in a few minutes, probably with food. Should also
That
get
was
up,
fun.
stretch,
Far.
use the restroom if need be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it actually is going to be relevant because Valia is going in Evangelist as a prestige class, and her deity's specific obedience bonuses. She gets even more diplomacy bonuses. Interacting with people who are or could be attracted to her. Actually, going to be a question that has to be asked. The thing for that because she's big on the Imperial Lords. So, are you guys able to hear me? Because I'm not sure if everything I'm saying.
On occasion, I hear slight cuts here and there, but for the most part, I hear what you're saying.
I might be. I might have it. Okay, there we go. I think everything I say should be audible now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think I had put it a little. I had gone a little too far on the reducing the input, so that some of the stuff I was saying actually wasn't coming through.
Ah,
Yeah. Like Avalia's story about the wolves that people thought were a demon. Yeah,
yeah,
that was. Well, I mean, it's fitting. Level 1, she and a couple others went out to try to deal with some monster reports. It turned out it was a couple of starving wolves, a demon.
yeah.
An actual demon would have kicked the crap out of them.
Probably.
Yeah. Good thing is, as time goes on, I'll have actual adventure stories to tell based on the stuff that happens in the actual game, which will be
Yeah.
better.
Oh yeah.
Avalia definitely is. She's good at the talking. I was told that you guys didn't have a face, so I made Avalia good at talking.
Yeah, I mean, I have 16 in charisma, but I got no ranks in diplomacy at all. So I figured I was making my character more as a scholarly type than anything.
Scholarly sorcerer.
Yeah,
That's a little less common, but that's pretty cool.
I'm gone with the seeker archetype because I'm flavoring it like my character had a bit of a tragedy because his powers caused a tragedy in his past, and he's trying to learn how uh, where his powers come from, how to best control them, bend them to his will.
That's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was just saying that also, if you're curious, and this is relevant, so if you want, you can look up her deity, Arshea. Arshea. I'm not sure, actually sure how you Arshea. Arshea. And then you can look up if you look it up on Nethes, you'll see what the deific obedience stuff is for her. Well,
Hmm.
yeah. It's very fitting for this particular game, given the Eurasia is big on worshipping the Imperial Lords. So,
Yeah,
actually fitting.
yeah,
Just one of the like 5 or 6 of the deities I think that have that sort of theme to their obedience stuff.
yeah.
Well, there's what is it, Limesius or something, and then there's a couple of the evil ones like the demon lords like Soko Benoth and Nocticula, who are like the one's the succubi queen and the other's the what the heck, incubus one.
Something
Like they
like
have
that.
things like, yeah, so they have things that are darker, obviously, and then there's Callistria, which should not be a surprise to anybody,
Yeah.
who also has stuff in that vein.
Ah.
Yep.
If my character dies, I'm back. I don't know why, but ever since I created Diedrich, I've grown to have a very big interest in creating monster characters. So I'm actually thinking about creating a, just because I feel like it'd be fitting for this campaign as a backup. I'm thinking about creating a and you can tell me how you feel about this and how you feel about this, but a Shoot. Jeez, where's my brain at today? My God. Oh yeah, a goblin war priest of Desmond.
Wait, a goblin in the town that's being attacked and besieged by goblins.
Yes. I was thinking of flavoring that, like, okay, so Sandpoint wasn't the only village to get hit by goblins. Like, there are like this particular region is known to have a lot of good different goblin tribes.
Right,
And
Varisia on the whole has a lot of goblins.
yeah. But I think this region is particularly bad
Mhm.
under goblins. So what I was going to say, flavor it is, he's a goblin who was abandoned by his tribe because he he was abandoned by his tribe because he couldn't, for some reason he took pity on a human child.
Hmm.
Oh hey,
Welcome back.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get me something to drink.
Okay.
Oh, I need drinks.
I got a question, Jacob, with familiars.
Yeah.
So, familiars use either their own skill or their master's skill, depending on which is better. If they use it. So when they do that, do they use their Are they considered to? Sorry. It has the class skill. So heal is a class skill for her familiar as well as for her. Um, and her familiar is treated as though it has 4 ranks in the skill because she has 4 ranks in the skill for the check. So does that mean the familiar also gets the +3 from it being a class skill?
I honestly didn't know about the skill things. Direction of that. I'd love to look at it.
Sure. Hold on a second. I'll do that.
Know a lot, but I will not claim to know everything.
Right. Hold on. I'm gonna just This is the familiar page generally, and then specifically says skills for each skill in which either the master or familiar has
want a
ranks.
link.
Either use the normal ranks for an animal of that type or the master's skill ranks,
Steven.
whichever is better.
Steven, I want a link.
I gave you a link.
In Discord.
Gave it in Discord.
That's good to know, because I didn't know that.
Oh, I said I
Don't-
linked it. I said I linked the general familiar page. This is the relevant exact thing that the familiar page says.
It doesn't bring anything up about the class skills. It just brings up ranks, so you know class skills.
Right, but the familiar does have the familiar has it as a class skill.
Then it gets the class skill bonus.
Okay. That's what I was checking. Yeah, hers specifically has it because emissary familiars have heal as a class skill. Unlike the normal familiar, which has acrobatics, climb, fly, perception, stealth, and swim.
Guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
am, anyways.
I am ready.
Great. And Steven, just as a note, like you copy pasting the text isn't going to help. I'm always going to want to look at. I did
Okay.
look at the source, but just future reference.
Okay. I was just trying to point out the specifically relevant because the familiar page has a lot of stuff on it. But yeah, okay. I didn't know how to link to specifically that part of the page. But yeah, I got
you
it.
can't.
I won't copy paste next time. Sorry.
Let's take care of Corgan real quick. Are you gonna do the nightly rest or do you want to do the 24-hour?
Probably 24 hours since I got 5 strength damage.
Okay, cool. Then let's see what available.
Okay, so Cecile is going to attempt to aid. I should roll that first to see if Vela is going to get the bonus, right?
Good to me.
Oh, Cecile is good at it. Cecile's actually better at it than Avelia is, but I don't think Cecile can actually do. Like realistically, I think Avelia has to actually provide the care. Cecile's telling her how to do it. The assistance, and then here's Avelia. Oh, right.
Corgan also wouldn't accept aid from a bird. I should point that out.
Well, Cecile is offering Avelia counsel on how best to do it.
I'm okay with that. Not okay with the bird being my direct physician.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you got 24 hours of rest. What you're gonna have, and you can get rid of 4 of your.
Sweet.
We'll jump over to Dalen, who's at the cathedral. One of the lesser acolytes by a primary one. You're only gonna need just a rest tonight, Dalen, because you're only missing 2, right?
Yeah.
Aid check was great. The actual check goes. Oh,
Not much better. Not any good.
no, that's not enough to provide proper long. You're only gonna heal 1 tonight, which rest the following night. Unless,
Guess
I
that's
mean,
okay.
technically, if you like went there, in the afternoon, you could just hang out there until tomorrow afternoon, heal up both, as opposed to waiting until the following night. But it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I think the one night is going to be good enough for me because I do want to go ahead and craft at least one. Take the other day to craft at least one wondrous item. It only has a base cost of 1,000 gold, so it should take 500 gold in just one day to craft. following the proper feat rules.
Didn't even know you had the craft wondrous item feat.
I do. I think I took it at like 3rd level.
Okay.
Yeah,
What wondrous
Yeah,
item?
I think that's the earliest you can take it.
it is.
What item are you?
I'm going to expend 100 or not 100. Wow, 500 gold to craft me bracers of armor for myself. I'm going to use it to replace my Haramaki. Because unlike the Haramaki, I can enchant my bracers for even more effects. Got a +1 bracers of armor. As we gain gold, I'll probably spend more time to craft the higher tier pieces. But for right now, I'm just going to stick to +1.
You're gonna upgrade it over time, make it better.
Yes, I will. Didn't quite understand what it meant with the other some of the other prerequisites, because it says the creator's caster level must be at least 2 times that of the bonus placed on the bracer. So I assume that means I only need like a level 2, be a level 2 for +1.
Yeah. And like all of like night, unless the requirement specifically says so, any requirement like that can be circumvented by adding +5 to the difficulty of the spellcraft check to craft it.
Yeah, I knew that part. Thankfully, I have wondrous item and mage armor, and my caster level is a proper level. My the caster level required is 7, but I can circumvent that for +5.
That's the that's the caster level of the item is 7.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet that. You don't have to have that. You just have to have the caster level. The caster level thing there is
That's if you're purchasing it.
The caster level for the item determines. Sorry, the caster level for the item is what goes into one of the things that goes into generating what the base DC of the item is. So I believe it's 5 plus the caster level of the item.
Yeah, I didn't know you were doing this, or I would have pulled it all up. So now I'm frantically looking around.
I'm sorry.
I think it's 5 plus caster level of the item. So I think your DC is 12.
I have craft wondrous item right here. I have to see magic creation rules.
Yeah, I clicked on that, and it literally says nothing about determining D.
I play a Omni Crafter in one of my other games. I'm pretty familiar. I'll see if I can find the thing for you too.
Please,
magic item creation. Here we go. Let me. This should be what I'm looking. This should be what we're looking for. Let me go ahead, link it in Discord. Link. There we go. Might work.
Yeah, like
yeah.
the link that it provides on D. Anything about actually crafting them?
Oh, that is the page. That was the page I went to too.
Let me see if the Archives of Nethys says anything different about it. Oh, this ain't the archives. Never mind. This is the Pathfinder reference document.
The first paragraph on the thing William linked has the stuff about caster level.
All it says
the
is DC to create a magic item increases by 5 for each prerequisite.
I never want you guys to read it to me, literally ever.
I know. I'm reading it out loud for myself.
And mute yourself.
Okay, yeah, it looks like he's right. It's 5 plus the caster level, which means to craft a bracers of armor would be a total of 12, provided provided all the prerequisites are met.
Yeah, you can make a bracer of these.
Because I'm probably gonna go ahead and take 10, if that's all right. Which will put my skills, put my spellcraft at it is spellcraft, right? To create magic items.
Yeah.
Yeah, that put me at 18 spellcraft.
Yeah, Cecile could cast guidance on you if that was helpful. If you needed it.
Guidance can't be used in this case because it doesn't last as long as he.
Yeah, it takes 8 hours to craft a magic wondrous item. 8 hours for every 1,000 gold. Of course, I could take an extra 5 DC for to have that, but I don't see any point in it.
And especially because you can only craft one thing in a day anyway.
Yeah, you can make yourself
So,
some +1 bracers.
All right, cool. That'll be 500 gold for the material cost.
If you literally wait till you clear this dungeon, you could technically make a +2 if you came up with them. Because you'll end up being level 4, so you could make level 2. And again, it looks like you only have 355 gold on your sheet.
I deducted it. I had 855 total
So,
before.
Yeah, that I figured, but still, that means unless you guys sold a bunch of stuff, you wouldn't actually be able to make the second tier.
Yeah, I would need at least 2,000 gold for the second bracers. Because it's half the base cost for crafting. I'm going to build my +1 braces of armor. And I'll probably sell, well, unless, yeah, I'll probably just set the Haramaki into sell because I ain't gonna need it. Oof.
You guys, I guess the following day, if you like, Dalen, you could try selling off. I can try selling off some of the items.
That'll work, yeah. Let me go ahead and drop the Haramaki in there too. I'm gonna sell it.
So you can sell anything that's under 1,000 gold, but you have to give me a roll for everything above that. So a +1 breastplate. Fuck. I feel like we should save the cloak. I mean, technically you could give it to Valia. I want to say
Thalia doesn't
Zane
have a
has
cloak.
one.
she does not have a cloak, and she could certainly use it.
Yeah, if you
Saves are good. Okay.
The mithril shirt could be sold as well.
We have 2 of those.
The thing is, with the town you're in, you can't sell off all of these, so you're gonna have to. That's why you're doing this.
We're picking and choosing.
I think what we were originally planning was sell all the lower cost stuff and leave the high end equipment when we go to a bigger city. I think that was the plan, right?
It would be less to carry, that's for certain.
The two things that you could get rid of today would be the +1 breastplate and the mithril shirt. You just gotta choose one.
We don't have 2 missile shirts, by the way. We only have 1. You put that 2 there to note that
Oh.
Hosk Jr. was wearing it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we just have the one.
Yeah, we
My
could
bad.
just sell the 1 mithril shirt. That's fine.
Sounds good.
And you said to add. You guys said that it was cool to add it to the cloak to Avalia.
Yeah.
Okay. I drag that from the party sheet onto her sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. My first time taking stuff off the loot sheet.
Well, yeah, you guys didn't really have time to do that last week.
Yeah, we didn't get the loot in the last game. We were gonna do that first thing at the beginning. You said so. We haven't done it in Kingmaker yet.
Also, who all wants these potions? Get 2 cure moderates and 2 cure lights.
I have 3 cure moderate wounds potions on me, so I don't really need them.
Valia has no potions.
You can
She
take
could take.
You can take all of them if you want.
All right. She also does have cure light wounds on her spell list, so she would not need to make UMD checks to use a wand of cure light wounds on people.
In that case, you want the full charge?
Either or. I just was saying that she can help with that too. She has divine spells.
Here, in that case,
Checking.
I'll give Avalia the full charged wand of cure light wounds. Let me drop that back in the party sheet. There you go.
All right. So I just need to. Does not want to let me drag that. Hold on.
There are actually abrasers of armor in the items page.
Oh, there is. I already dropped it. It's just for some reason it doesn't automatically add the +1, so
Yeah, it's
I
not
had to
armor.
input it manually.
I figured it wouldn't.
So the party sheet
But I can
is. It is okay. There we go. Now it's finally letting me drag them. It was being temperamental and did not want to let me drag things for some reason, so I had to do it a couple times.
before the end of the campaign, it's possible I might be able to get up to a +8 armor bonus with these bracers.
That would be very impressive magic bracers.
'Cause it does go. I could also modify it to have armor bonuses higher than +8. Oh no, it cannot have a modified bonus. Never mind. Read it more, dang it.
It does not appear that. That is unfortunate. It does not appear that adding the wand to the sheet makes an entry for using the wand.
You'd have to manually input it in your actions tab. All I did was I created a special tab for spontaneous casting, set it as items, and ensured that it stayed at a base caster level of 1, and just kind of input this, just drop the spell into that particular category.
Okay, I will work on doing that.
So it looks like I have been given bad information. From my understanding of just Googling things, can actually just sell shit up to like the market value of the town. You guys can get rid of whatever items you want as long as it's underneath, in this case, 7,500 gold.
Oh, so we can sell off all the miscellaneous stuff we don't need. Cool.
Yeah. I'm inclined to
Alright,
double
well-
check Tristan's sheet though, just to make those. I'd rather. Probably not. And the ever-burning torch could be nice. What about
Yeah.
these potions?
I'd grab those cure light wounds potions if nobody else is grabbing them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to sell those.
Yep. Just figured that it was good for I don't think Avalia needs the cure lights as much. She has lay on hands for herself too to help. Oh, that's
Cool. If everyone could double check the party sheet real quick and give me a verbal confirmation that they're okay with me selling the stuff, that would be.
Yeah, I'm already looking at it and I'm fine. I don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess actually I'll swap Avalia's backpack for the masterwork backpack
Great.
since she doesn't have a masterwork backpack. So I would just drag over her backpack to that, right? And then put the other backpack into hers.
Yeah, and then you'd have to modify under the encumbrance. You have to hit the little microscope. Put your.
Hold on, it's not like really. For some reason, it does not like me dragging things off of the party sheet.
You're probably doing it too quickly. Slow down. That's like the only way you're gonna have issues, with the exception of the
okay,
server.
there we go.
Okay.
That's it. I was going too fast. Thank you. That was very helpful.
Okay, I'm gonna sell this stuff.
Sell.
Yeah. So should we? One thing I think we want to do is we want to check if we can buy. The name of the stuff is escaping me. The holy weapon balm and the holy water.
I'm right back where I got even more gold than when I first crafted the bracers. All right.
Whew.
That is assuming you go out and spend a bunch of time today.
Corrigan cannot do that since he is resting.
Avalia and Dalen both can, though, I think. Avalia would be happy to, given it would give her the opportunity to go and meet people. She wants to get to know the people in the town.
I mean, there's one of two ways we can do this. Can either like roleplay go into all the shops, or we can have you like throw some dice out and help the town.
What are the preferences of other people?
Probably throw the dice. We've been in here for a while.
Just throw the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And knowledge local check. You you're hanging out with Dalen, he can give you a diplomacy for an aid.
I was going to say I could, if I could, I would like to aid her.
Yeah, give me a diplomacy. Or knowledge local.
Oh, it's just local. I think it's higher than that. No, about the same.
Okay, well you reroll anyways because stuff +2.
Oh yeah,
Hero
No.
sand point.
you're right. In that case, I'm going to do a knowledge local. There we go.
Cool. Gives a +2 to Avalia's knowledge. This would be the time to roll, Steven.
Hey, yeah, she doesn't have that. She has no ranks in knowledge local.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna give you assumed knowledge.
Okay.
That was harmless enough.
I could still say that I'm kind of acting as a guide, helping point her out to key points of interest.
Yes, you can. Is there anything else you guys want to do? I'm gonna assume that like by the time you're done with this is about the same time that like Dalen is, or not Dalen, Corgan is back.
Did we want to? Did we also wanted to see if we could buy if the church sold the cathedral sold the holy weapon balm and holy water.
Yeah.
They sell holy water, though they don't have much of it. Well, if you want, they can sell you 6. They can't give you a discount.
So we
Okay,
buying all
so
6?
that would be assuming it's the base price. I think it's 25
It
gold
is.
per.
25 gold a flask.
The thing to remember with holy water on incorporeal undead is you have to pour it out on them, and you can only do it if you're right next to them.
Yep.
It's still potentially useful. So. Do we want to buy it or?
I'm okay with buying it. It's damage.
I don't think you need to be adjacent to the flash weapon.
From what I'm reading here,
I mean, it might be an incorporeal specific thing.
you
There's
have to
nothing
pour
on
the
holy water
ahead.
to provide that.
But to use against an incorporeal creature, you must open the flask and pour the
But
holy
we're not
water
supposed to read it
onto
out
the
loud.
target. Sorry.
We're supposed to link, right?
No, I see what you're talking. Yeah, I guess you guys would have to pour it on the shadows.
Which does mean we have to get up right up close and personal with the shadows. You're nasty buggers.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted my strength back. I knew we were gonna have to get up close and personal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't
So-
have any of the holy weapon balm. If they did, this would be, I'd coat my arrows in it.
This
Would we be able to check if the like the alchemy store sells holy weapon balm, or would that just be the cathedral?
Have to go and find out.
a quick question about one of my spells. See if any of y'all have the answer. If I understand that casting mage armor as someone who's already wearing armor doesn't give you the bonus to armor, but would it at least add to your touch AC? Having mage armor on you?
It's one or the other.
That's whatever's best.
Better one replaces the worst one, I believe.
Okay, so I could cast mage armor on one of y'all, and it would up your touch AC. Like up your touch AC to help you be more resilient.
It would. Yeah.
Okay, that gives me an idea of how I'm going to use my spells. Awesome.
So it just gives you a +4 armor bonus. So
Yes.
it is only going to be useful if it's better than someone else. The only time it's gonna.
Yeah. Okay. And my AC, my normal armor bonus is 10. Oh, wait. Yeah, 10. It's +1 armor. So that means the mage armor just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mid armor's not gonna affect me either.
Gonna help
I was-
you and Zane.
Okay. I was hoping maybe I could use it to kind of give them some semblance of for incorporeal protection, but I guess not.
I mean,
No,
if
no, without
It
me
still
taking off my
does.
full blade.
It
yeah, we'd
still
have to
does
take off our
that.
armor.
It still has that effect. It just wouldn't be providing the armor.
Which means it wouldn't be make any difference at all.
Really?
What?
It would in this case. You're fighting corporeal creatures. If you
That's
put
what I was
mage
trying to
ar-
figure out if I could use it to give them a +4 to their touch AC and protect them from help protect from incorporeal attacks.
it won't
that
give
can-
them an AC bonus. It would just protect them from incorporeal attack.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
So in the case of fighting an incorporeal creature, their AC would act as if it was +4, since their regular armor wouldn't help. The better one would be the +4.
Okay,
Ah,
that
okay.
makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay, so that would help. That's good to know.
Okay, so AC is more situational than I thought it would be.
Right. So Avelia would, I guess she will try going to the alchemy shop, which you said was the Pillbug's pantry.
I will say that
To,
is totally me just looking at the rules. That is my interpretation. There is no official ruling that says, like, the only official ruling is you use the armor bonus that's better.
Yeah.
I'm interpreting that as the +4 armor bonus is better versus incorporeal.
Yeah, depended on the attack in question, which
so,
armor bonus would be better.
Okay. So Avelia will go and try to she'll go to the Pillbug's pantry. Go inside.
Okay, there's a very fat man perched inside this very tight room that's full of like hundreds of little bottles. You also see a bunch of plants and a lot of little pieces, shavings of different descriptions, be it bones, metals, plant fiber, that.
Right, so she will go in and she will introduce herself and hello, my name's Avelia. I'm here to see if you have any holy weapon that we could potentially use. We're working to drive out some shadows in the Thistletop ruins.
The man in front of you gives you this very disgusting looking smile and he says, "Holy weapon bomb. Those could be very hard to come by. Let me see." Yeah, he comes back a few minutes later as you hear him like rummaging through a bunch of potions, a back room, not even messing with any. Says, "Luckily for you, it looks like I have one left. Been a long time since I've had some. Wasn't sure I had it."
I guess it is our lucky day. She'll smile and ask, so how much will that be then?
I'm thinking 40 gold.
Avalia will nod and give him the 40 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you, ma'am.
Likewise. Thank you very much. She will smile and take the gold and then go outside, at which point Cecile is basically going to lean over in her ear and say, "Just got ripped off." And Avalia's like, "Oh." It's gonna keep and then she'll sort of shrug and go, "Well, I'll do better next time."
That is one ugly dude.
Yeah, that guy kind of creepy.
It looks like he comes straight out of an episode of the Addams Family. Either that or the Goonies.
That's the chellish side of him. You guys don't like him. You're all racist.
Right, so I should subtract 40 gold, or are we gonna split the 40 gold total from group rather than just one of us?
Probably group, since it's a group that's going to end up using it.
Okay.
I
I'll,
am disinclined to take money from someone who is here and is greedy.
Oh, I didn't mean. I did not mean Zane. Zane is not here. Zane's player is not here, and he's not here. I just was asked. Okay. I'll just take 20 out of Avalia's, and then if you two pay the other 20 together, in each.
Okay. David and Will, if you take 10 off, Steven will pay
Good.
half of it.
Sure.
Cool.
Right.
Weapon bomb. Who's getting the weapon bomb? Who's using?
Oh, so that's the question. So, Corgan could put it on his Earthbreaker, which would let his Earthbreaker one time hit the incorporeal thing, or he could put it on his magic item, Bastard Sword.
I was going to say, I was going to put on the Bastard Sword because it'll give it Ghost Touch, meaning I'll deal full damage. So it'd be
Yeah.
1d10 plus my bonuses plus 2d4.
Yeah, and
Or you
Avalia
could put it on
could-
arrows and deal half damage with arrows and 10 shots.
Avalia could put it on her great sword. Since it's also magic, Avalia also has the ability to smite the shadows, so she has other ways to boost her damage against them. This, so I think it's probably better for Corgan to use it.
Alright.
Nice.
I got my magic, so I have no need for it.
Yeah, and let me just I'm checking Paladin spell list. I have one spell a day, but it's possible there is a spell that would be helpful for this, since tomorrow I think is when we're going up in game, because you guys need because Corgan needs one more night to get the last 1 point of healing, I think.
Yep. Which I guess Jacob just gave us.
Yep.
Remember, if Paladins have Ghost Touch. We do not. Paladins do not have Ghost Touch. Paladins have Ghostbane Dirge. I've never heard of. But, she's got.
We're going to need to hire somebody to watch the cart.
I believe we can hide it well enough. We shouldn't have too much trouble.
Well, the horse, too. Unless you think we'll be back out in a day. Because we're going to have to come back and, feed it.
Like, hypothetically, it's in its natural environment. If given the appropriate amount of time,
Yeah.
space, it can feed itself.
Okay.
It's a horse, so like you just tie it in a place that has some greens for it, and it'll munch on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad spell. Osbane Dirge. I had never heard of this spell before, but it's actually not bad.
Can't just give us that. You got to give us more than that.
Oh, he just did.
I was linking it. It makes the incorporeal undead coalesce into a semi-physical form for a period of time, and during that, it takes half damage from non-magic and full damage from magic, spells, spell-like effects, and supernatural effects.
I grab
would-
that's good.
That would have been a very useful spell to have last session.
Yeah, I just was thinking about. So there's that. I believe that. Let me look up. Let me check. Jacob, I got a question. I'm gonna link you a spell. Does this work on incorporeal things? I mean, on undead incorporeal things. It's Veil of Positive Energy.
Yeah, generally speaking, positive energy.
Right. So she's gonna prep. She's gonna have that prepped as her spell, because it can be you or all creatures within 5 feet. Oh wait, no, it can. Oh, sorry, it's 5 feet if when she dismisses it. So she's gonna prep that, and she'll use that. That plus the mage armor will give her a not horrible touch AC against the incorporeal things. Okay, add it on the spell list. Not casting Divine Favor.
The halo you have provides the spell-like ability, right? The light spell-like ability.
Yeah. Yep. Right. So how do I change what spell I have prepared?
You go into the mode, click the mode button in the bottom of Actions tab till you get prepared. Click on the little circles that pop up, whatever spell you're preparing.
Doesn't give me the circles, it just shows Divine Favor as being prepped.
What you're up to. That's because you're in the standard mode, not the preparation mode. Previously prepared Divine Favor. Mode button at the bottom. Click on that until you get to prepared. What are you looking at?
Trying to find the mode button.
It's at the very bottom of your character sheet on the action. It says mode standard.
Ah, there we go. Thank you. It wasn't showing up because I had the edit list thing clicked, and so mode wasn't showing up. That was why. Thank you. I fixed it now.
I literally never have clicked edit list. I didn't know that was.
It is all
Under-
set now. Thank you.
I guess edit list is just there if you want to quickly delete things.
Yeah, exactly. Edit list is to delete if you made a mistake.
Perfect.
And then her Halo specifically. Yeah, it is as the. It is. Yep. And when she's using her Halo, she gets a +2 circumstance bonus to intimidate evil creatures, and on saving throws against being blinded or dazzled. She will have her Halo on for this.
Wanted to make sure I was right. Recap.
Okay. All right.
Plan, gentlemen.
Well, we'd have to rest the night for me to get my last point of strength back,
Yeah.
which you did. So I guess we're gonna head out now. I guess.
Yeah, sounds good.
Spent a bunch of time shopping, then Corgan got up, had to go back to sleep. What, you're gonna look for Zane the following morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check by the docks because that's where he sleeps.
You guys find him in town. I'll leave it up to Tristan when I talk to him this coming week, where you found him, what he was doing in those basically like over a day long period. Had a day to do whatever he wanted, day and some change. Are you guys going back to Thistletop?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Takes a few hours for you guys to get back there, but you eventually get to the spot that you guys are pretty familiar with. If you guys want, I would give you the opportunity to give me that survival check.
Survival.
Guess we established that Zane is the best at that.
Yep, he's our compass guy.
If someone wants to give him an age check, this would.
Yeah, I'll attempt it.
I'll give him a little bonus since he's done this.
Nice.
Cool. Ooh, that's not enough. Let's see how long you get lost in the
No.
woods.
It takes another half day, I swear.
It takes you 4 hours before you guys realize that Zane's gotten you nowhere. Oh, guys, we got stuck in the same spot we were before.
Knew I should have hacked a path.
We should have left some trail signs.
Right. I guess I'll try and
Try and aid him
survival
again.
check.
I'll try to aid you. Oh.
No aid.
Yeah. That time.
Scared. What? Huh?
Spellcraft?
That's the wrong button.
That's 20.
That's such a good roll. Though.
I know.
Okay. Literally all by himself, just based off his own intuition, Zane was able to. He just likes doing little detours. You keep thinking he's doing it on accident, but he just wants to spend more time in the Nettlewood.
Oh, he's trying to bond.
He likes the woods.
After a total of 8 hours in the woods.
Oh God, it's already evening by now.
I think midday, yeah.
If we set out
the-
at 10, it would be.
Why would
4
you set out at 10?
Yeah, I think we would have set out earlier than 10.
Yeah, we'd leave earlier than that, dude.
Using
Yeah, we probably
pre-established
left at
logic, you would leave at like 6.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's too early.
It's like an hour away by cart to get to where you need to start the adventure. That's 7. And then you
Dayla's a
spend
night owl, okay?
then you spend 8 hours
Wandering through
getting
the
there.
bushes.
So it's like 3 o'clock when you get to Thistletop.
Yeah.
After
Avelia stretches her wings out now that she's out of all the stuff and like stretching them because they're all cramped from holding them against her back the whole time.
After about the 4-hour mark, Dalen just jumps into the car, just all tired.
Well,
You're
we don't
not
have
in
to
the
go with
car.
us as that part.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
What?
Avelia will carry you though. I mean, she can carry you.
If Avelia's carrying you, that's gonna slow you guys down.
It was a
No.
joke. She's not
It-
actually gonna do it.
Dalen's pride wouldn't let you, anyways.
What do you guys like? I know we just talked about your whole traveling thing, but what are you guys doing with your horse? That's important. Your horse and cart.
Probably hiding it as best we can.
Set it off a little bit from the road with like and then tie the horse to like the tree with to a tree with enough space for it to graze.
Okay. Someone give me an aid check for Zane's survival. You can make this survival or knowledge nature check. Cool. We'll roll a survival. Okay, that's a number. When you guys get to Thistletop, what are we doing?
You cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When we get to Thistletop, what are you guys gonna be doing?
Heading right back in.
Going back, probably. I guess going back to where we were before.
Well, if I'm not gonna get more specifics than that, I'll just reshare the map.
I'd say once we get down the stairs to the second level of the dungeon, I'm going to go ahead and expend 2 my first level slots and grant both Corgan and Avalia mage armor.
Okay.
There we go.
I get all its planes check.
Okay, sure.
And will save from everyone.
You want the knowledge first?
Yeah. The same time. It's the same thing.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I'm going to give you will saves, right? Yeah. Not too bad.
Steven?
Yeah, hold on, I'm getting it. There we go.
Go ahead, pop a mage armor on both y'all. There we go.
Okay, cool. The reason I'm asking for this check is because when you come back into the room with the giant pile of gold, Dalen, you're able to see, looks like a vaguely feminine, like a ghost or basically like a silhouette with a blue tint with like a little bit of green accenting it that kind of pops up in the wall in like the corner of the L joint as you come around the corner. It seems
Heading
to
towards the
be
sarcophagus room? Or?
no, it's got its back turned to you and it's heading towards the wall in front of it. The center point of the L-shaped room.
As I see it, I go, "Hello?"
Yeah, perception check.
Okay, perception. Here we go. Okay, that was cocked, but
Okay. It's hard to see its destination, but you do see a line going from this like woman's silhouette into the wall, heading like south.
Okay.
After a moment, it disappears.
I just get
Seen things like this in the past. Whether or not you know what they are, question. I'd say with that knowledge planes check, you don't know what. Definitely see.
I look at the other two, see if they noticed it too. Did y'all see that?
See what?
It's a woman.
Where?
She went south. She looked like a ghost of some kind. I swear I've seen it before. Swear I've seen something like that before, but the knowledge eludes me. She's going south towards the wall, and then she just disappeared.
So, like, she was here where I just put Avelia, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe there's like a door or something? Like, hidden? Avelia will suggest, and then have Cecile try to look and see if there's a door, because Cecile actually has good perception.
I feel like that was an indirect stabbed at me.
No, I meant because Cecile has Avelia has a negative to perception because she has a negative to wisdom. That's why I
I
didn't have
know.
Avelia try.
I was just making a joke.
Ah.
No, you're
It's not a stab at you. It's a stab at Avelia. She's a
Okay.
paladin with not great wisdom, which is why she doesn't have good sense motive or perception.
Cecile does not see.
Okay.
Let's get I'm down to ask for perception checks from everyone just generally though. Also, as a note, there is a giant pile of gold here, Avelia.
Didn't they tell her that it was fake? Or did they not say that? Oh.
I didn't.
Okay, Avelia's going to note the giant pile of gold. Be like, shouldn't we, like, try to pack that up?
It's fake.
It's all just an illusion.
Oh. Very convincing illusion.
Yeah, certainly had our little kobold friend going crazy over it.
Is this a site? Oh, I should have asked. Was this a site-based perception?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then that's accurate.
Cool. I don't have anything else.
I was gonna ask. So, where was the room with the shadows?
Just down this way.
You guys look down there and no shadows
Just-
playing off the walls.
Which way?
I draw the southwest.
Oh. I don't know how. For some reason, my torch fell off my character.
I'll just
Can I go
throw
ahead
it
and
back
reapply
on.
the torch?
Yeah.
Not it.
So,
Thanks.
like,
There we go.
is it the way Zane is?
Yes,
No.
to the south. To the
There we
south.
go.
That's north. Opposite direction. Like the map,
Below Corgan.
the map is not oriented properly. I will be using like proper directions relative to our viewership.
Okay.
Right in
Oh,
this
so
room.
so the room south of okay, so that room is where the
Yes.
shadows were. Got it.
Where we
Okay,
saw
sorry.
them anyways.
Well, Avelia is going to cast the Veil of Positive Energy on herself.
Yeah? Why don't you give me a will save, Vale? Mind affecting.
Okay.
Give us Cecile's.
It's just, oh, I was gonna. Oh, it's affecting them both.
No, but you have shared will on Cecile.
Right. So I
Failed.
can.
Yeah. You can throw theirs out.
Yep.
So the Cecile has an effect where if Cecile or Avelia fails a mind affecting save, then the other one can try and make it. Okay, you're good. You feel a demonic presence envelop you, but you're able to push back from it. And it seems to be coming from somewhere to your west through the walls.
Something very evil here. Feel it.
I pull out the bastard sword and the holy weapon bomb.
Nice.
Okay, so I cast this.
And just like him, I'm going to pull out my wand of magic missile.
Come up here. Are we ready?
I think
So
so.
I click Veil of Positive Energy, and then there's there's a way to apply the effect to myself, right?
Combat tracker.
Tracker.
I'm almost positive that that spell you have a button you can click on if you grab the right version. Yeah. Hit the microscope and hit the effect button. Set the target
Right.
self.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Alright.
You throw mage armor on a Veil.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I see it on there.
That's
So
why I was asking.
Do you guys want Avelia to go in first?
And we're gonna step in simultaneously. Wait for them to
Okay.
show up, I think.
Oh, right, because it's a 2. Yeah. All right, let's do this.
Because last time we were just in there for a little while and then they showed up. I don't know how long it'll take. And can I ready an action, Jacob, to apply the holy weapon bomb if I see the shadows appear?
Yeah. Perception checks from Organ and Avelia with a -2. Visual based.
Oh my god.
Can Cecile roll as well?
If Cecile is with you, then
Cecile is with Avelia. Right. So it's an extra -2. Here we go. Avelia with the -5.
That's crazy. Not
Right.
gonna lie.
Cecile with -2.
Thank God for that bird.
Avelia and Corgan, you begin to see multiple shadows playing off the light that you're. It seems about half a dozen of them, all in different directions. Almost like they're trying to avoid. Steel, though, can spot the closest seem to be moving in a different pattern than the other one. Almost as if they're trying to side skirt it to get closer.
Okay. I'll apply the holy weapon bomb. And Shadow looks like there's more than last time.
Okay, so none of them are currently visible on the map, though? Or.
I have not added them to the map yet.
Okay.
As far as you can tell.
Right. Okay. Elia's gonna look at Corgan. So there are more. There are more of them this time. I thought you killed some of them.
We did. Well, we killed one of them.
Killed one. There was only 3 last time we were here.
And now there's 6 of them.
That's
This
what it
is
looks like.
a lot of shadows.
As begin to hear chanting coming from somewhere within the room. Seems to be everywhere in the room. All of you can hear.
Oh, this is getting more and more ominous by the second.
Those 2 shadows that were trying to skirt around your view sneak up from behind the 2 sarcophagi behind you. Now I would ask that everyone, pretty please.
There you go.
If you wouldn't mind.
But of course.
Now, is Cecile going to be doing things in combat?
No.
Huh.
I'm not planning on her doing things in combat.
Good.
All she could do in combat would be casting guidance on Avelia each turn. So yeah, she's not gonna be involved in combat. Getting her involved at this point just is likely to lead to a dead familiar.
Well, we know all about dead familiars. Poor King Zen. Rest in peace, my homie.
He was
Oh, man, those
literally
are
a figment of someone's imagination.
Oh, he was a figment familiar?
He was.
Well, those are really cool.
But we had a running gag while the character was here that we kind of played him off. Since his name was King Zen, we played him off as no royalty.
That's funny. All right.
It was strange, but it was a thing.
Awesome.
When the shadows come out from behind the sarcophagi and manifest on the ground, you see that one of them is missing a chunk off of one of its legs. You can see one of the final blow that Aradel left on her still seems to remain.
Oh, good. This looks like this will be easier than expected. And with that, I'm going to aim my wand right at the wounded shadow and fire a blast of arcane energy.
And I would say that seeing a shadow now is enough for Avelia to give me a knowledge religion check. Like,
Okay.
throw your stuff out there though.
Oh yeah. I was waiting for her to go ahead and make her roll.
That's Avelia's. I could also roll Cecile.
Go ahead.
Well, Cecile has not rolled well on knowledge religion, even though she's supposed to be Avelia's like guide on this stuff.
Avelia, now that you've seen the creatures, you seem to recall knowing that shadows are resistant to channeled energy. They're particularly resilient when it comes to positive energy.
Right. So that means that her positive energy channeling is probably that her channeling as a first level cleric is probably not going to cut it. So, right. It is her turn. Is going to attempt to disable the shadow, so I just need to do that. Pop out smile. And oh, wait. So I need to target them, right? I need to have clicked them and then hit it?
Yes. I believe you just put a new effect on your. Yeah, you need to you have both the ones on you. You need throw the targeted one on whichever one you're striking.
There we go. Think that's the right one?
Sure. I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Let me check.
It's the one that says target. The other two say self. So I think it's the right one.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay.
Are you? Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll find out.
Right. So how do you target the how do I target the shadow again? I alt
Control click.
control click. Okay. Alright, so it says targets shadow 6. Alright. And then roll the attack.
Nice.
Right. And that's it was okay. So it was 10 damage, but it was partially resisted. So it's still up. Okay.
And to be honest, I'm not even sure if it should be listed.
Because I think Smite bypasses the DR of things. I don't know if corporeality is DR. Yes.
It's an immunity. Why we double check things? believe it's the monster rule. About it.
Did Dalen get to do his attack? Oh yeah, I see it now.
He just didn't
That's
say
missed it.
anything. Takes half from magical items. That, except for channels, the exception when it. Let's look at your character and see if Smite says anything about that being different. Yeah, it bypasses DR, but that's not DR. You don't get DR for being incorporeal. You get immunities and effectiveness 5%. Did it right.
Okay. Dang, if it didn't have the DR, I think she would have just one-shot that thing. I mean, not DR. If it didn't have the immunity stuff. All right. Well, that's it for Avelia. So then I need to hit pass turn, right?
Yep.
This on the combat
If
tracker.
you're not doing anything else, then
And Corgan's gonna take a second at shot in front of him. Bastard sword.
use that bastard sword.
Well,
Oh, that was so close.
Incorporeal's immune to crits anyway,
Oh,
so it hits, which is the important thing. And then
Do a little bit of damage. A little bit.
I'll add 2d4 to this for the balm. It'll do full damage, since I don't think it's gonna calculate that correctly, Jacob, because it's got the ghost touch temporarily from the balm.
Yeah, it's not going to do that right, but
Oh my god, I rolled a 1. Let me add the 2d4.
well, it died even with just the 2 damage.
It's not close to death, I guess.
the shadow dissipates as you strike it.
Feel like I wasted that balm now.
You hear a hissing sound. The chanting volume low. There's less people.
Take a 5-foot step forward. And I have my turn.
And the shadow is gonna whip around the pillar, crawling across it as it's about to slash at Avail.
Does that hit with the mage armor bonus?
What's it? It doesn't. Good.
So it strikes out at you, latching on, cutting across you. There's an effect you should expect. You should be drained of your energy. A mage armor holds off. See the trademark, like starry projection that Dalen's made.
Thank you, Dalen.
And with that, you see the shadow link across the wall.
All right. Looks like the plan works. All right. I'm going. 5. No. I'm gonna. No, actually, no. I'm gonna stay right where I am and aim my wand and take aim and fire. I know I said the same thing twice. Don't judge me.
It's okay, man.
Boom, and that's my turn. As a bolt of energy just slams into the shadow, pumping, causing a hole form in it.
All right, Avelia will step forward, and she will attack the shadow again.
Nice.
Right, and so Avelia will
God
take a
damn!
she can hit pretty hard. She especially on evil things. She's gonna take. So her wings spread wide, and the light sort of flares around her head as her halo brightens. She steps forward, raising her sword up, and calls out that your evil shall pollute this place no longer. Before she brings the sword down and slices the shadow asunder.
It evaporates. The chanting stops, and you see about 10 feet away from you to your left that a false wall crumbles to the ground, and you see the pieces that make up the debris evaporate, almost as if it was made of the same substance as the shadow you just destroyed.
Do we still see shadows in the corners, or did those vanish as well?
They seem to recede and become more.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know why, but this encounter gives me Destiny vibes.
This is a seriously creepy room. You did a great job selling just how creepy it was, man.
Yeah, you guys see two engrams fall to the ground. They're
It's one
both greens,
exotic.
though.
Oh, damn it.
En-
You're gonna have to
engram?
come back through.
It's from Destiny.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have not actually ever played Destiny, so I was like, I don't know what that means.
Good
Item
on you,
drops
man.
just come in these little
Yeah, they just fall to
hexagonal
the
things.
ground when things die. You have to go pick them
okay.
up.
Basically, loot drops.
So are we still in combat, or did combat end?
Not in combat for now. If you
Okay.
guys don't see anything to interact with in combat, assume we're not in combat unless I say we need to act in turn order.
Okay. Celia will step forward. What is this? Is this just another pillar right in front of her?
It's a statue, actually.
Oh. Statue look like?
Yeah, there's some statues we passed by earlier I didn't bother bringing up. Looks like a very angry man.
Celia will comment. I wonder if this man has something to do with Lamash too, since this is one of her temples.
Don't
Try to
know.
roll religion and see if like there's any association of a very angry man with Lamash too.
I wouldn't ask you to roll a religion. I'd ask you to.
Oh. Well, I don't have that, so.
There's nothing you're gonna get from a religion.
I could give that a shot if y'all want me to.
You already have.
Oh, I already have. Yes, that's right. I did. I did try it. It didn't get very far.
Okay.
You can hear the ocean as you approach, just faintly from that false door of basically crumbled and evaporated.
Huh.
Okay. Well, given the broadsword at the ready, or sorry, not broadsword, bastard sword at the ready, I step forward.
As you come down, it
Leo
looks
will
like
follow.
the room splits, hallways that veer off of it.
All right. Look at the first one. I see stairs.
Yeah, you
I
see
call back
stairs
to the
that
group.
go down.
They go down. I'll go look at this one. I see stairs.
that also go down.
Okay. Stairs here too. They also go down. Which do you want to go down first?
I say the farther one.
All right.
That's just preference. Don't really know.
Okay, you go down the stairs, about 10 feet worth of stairs. And there's a little bend that leads to a
Door.
or door.
Door.
Once Dalen gets close, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. You open it up, and this door must have been like incredibly made because it was clearly masking the sound of sloshing water here coming.
All right, I'll step into the room.
Inside, you can what looks like a large of water. It's very much like a tide pool. The salt water sound you're hearing as it sloshes around in here. You also see
I can't actually go farther, so you guys are gonna have to back up.
you also see what looks like a bunch of carvings. Looks like a bunch of incredible treasures, bunch of coins, gems, jewelry, bunch of valuable items based.
Like in the water, on the walls.
Both. And once you get to the spot you're in, you can see in the water what looks like a bunch of shattered urns and multiple like stone chests that have crumbled and some like rusted sets of armor and weapons and a bunch of treasure that's piled up down there.
There's treasure in the water.
Yeah.
In the room.
In the water. Yeah. And you see like the most impressive piece that you see is this helmet, a very large one that's encrusted in coral, and it looks like it's sized for a giant. It's like 5 feet wide, and it has a face plate on it, like a face guard. It has the expression of like it's like carved to look like an angry man, like this twisted face of rage and very long fangs. Looks like it's made out of gold. If you want to give me a knowledge history when you can, though I would only give it to our good friend Organ, since he's the one who can see everything I'm describing. Everyone else can't see the treasure at the bottom.
Well, explain that there's treasure. I don't have knowledge history, so I'm not rolling knowledge history.
Okay. I mean, I can probably move you like there, right there, right there.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me move into that half square.
Yeah, I know.
How deep does the water look?
I would say that like 10 feet deep.
Not too bad.
We're in armor, so it's probably risky for us to try to get any treasure out of the pool.
Well, after we clear the other room, we're coming back for this treasure.
And don't forget that I don't know if it has any correlation, but while we were in Nettlewood, we saw a creature in the inside a hole that I assume was salt water. So if that creature is wandering around in the sea somewhere, if this is connected, it may be able to get into here too. So be
You
careful.
get cut off right there, Dalen, as Corgan, you see the helmet begin to shift as it rises up towards you. I'm going to ask for initiative from everyone.
Oh shit.
Oh
It
dear.
looks like
Okay.
the helmet is rotating to look at you, Corgan.
Corgan mutters an oath.
And because I'm such a tease, we're gonna end the session right there.
Oh, okay.
Cliffhangers.
That was fun. Good to join you guys.
Yeah.
A little bit of a slower session, but I hope everyone enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Good to get to introduce Avelia, and I hope that been all right.
Yeah. I feel it's just going to be a good fit for the party,
I agree.
I hope so.
especially since we finally have a paladin that knows knowledge religion.
So, well, sort of. Well, actually, the neat thing is she has knowledge religion and Cecile has knowledge religion, and between the two of them, odds are at least one of them will roll decently. Yeah.
And that diplomacy. Oh my god.
Yes. She's good at talking.
I'm gonna throw something out there. I had completely different plans for Aerodel than what happened today. I'm glad they went the way they were, but I expected things to go differently. If you guys are okay with that, I'll leave it up to you guys. There is stuff to be done down in this dungeon, what you're doing now. But if you would like it, to make things easier, I would let you guys do the level up this week. You don't have to worry about it next, like during the session.
Yeah, I can do that. I guess I can.
That was nice.
Okay. I can't do it today because I do have a game in about an hour, but
Yep.
I could open up the game later tonight or time throughout the week whenever
Sometime throughout the week, I'll be busy later on tonight raiding in Destiny.
I figured. Is there a specific day that works for you?
Any day is fine. Just not tonight.
Tomorrow would be preferable for me since it's Labor Day and I'm off work.
Nice. Okay, then I will have the game tomorrow at a specific time that works for you guys.
I got nothing to do, so anytime works good for me.
David?
Whenever.
Okay, what about you? Work on it tomorrow?
Avelia is already level 4.
Oh yeah, good point. Uh, oh, you don't
'Cause
have
you
to
had me-
worry about that. Yeah, no,
Yep.
I remember. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just get up in the morning, like get up like 7 and 9. I'll just hit you guys up then.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun, guys.
Okay.
I hope you guys
See you in an
have
hour.
a wonderful week.
Oh, on that, Jacob. So I send